Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Night Owl, a show that we do twice a week where we talk about all the latest in pop culture news, TV and movie reviews, gaming news, and just general conversations of the day. For those who don't know me, I'm Price of Reason, and with me, as always, is my co host, Professor R2. How's it going, Professor?
Oh, it's going well. I'm glad to be here this evening. How are you doing, Price?
I'm doing great. Certainly a lot to talk about today. I figured today we're going to do something. In recent weeks, we kind of pushed back the whole Starfleet Academy towards the end. I want to try something different and just kind of go right into it this time.
just kind of
Pull the Band-Aid off.
You pull off the Band-Aid, eat your frog, as they say. Like, just get the horrible stuff over with, and then we can come back to the other stuff later.
For sure, yeah.
We can come back and we can laugh at Grace Randolph or whatever.
Right. So do you have the file, or do you want me to pull up one of those?
Yeah, I've got it. I can pull it up. Give me just 2 seconds here.
Perfect.
Oh boy, man. Well, for those of you who have not gotten to experience this yet, oh man, we didn't think it was possible for them to actually make a worse episode than we had seen so far, but man, they're trying awfully hard.
They're really testing our patience for sure.
Time.
It's just awful.
Oh man, just terrible. Okay. Oh well, now it's not letting me share my window. Hold on. Let me back out. And let me try again. Okay. There we go. Okay. This is going to work now. Yes. No.
Did I not share it? What do I need to do?
No. It was giving me fits. All right.
Who was on the thumbnail? No, that's Tilly, the one on the thumbnail.
Yes, that is Tilly. Is it Samantha? Sophia? I don't even remember. Tilly. She's from Discovery, and she's just as annoying as ever, if not worse than she ever was before. But yeah, we'll get to that. So yeah, we get started with the Doctor watching the sunrise. So very emotional, Price, as he talks about all the false, ridiculous profundity of him being awake to watch the sunrise every day for 900 years because he doesn't really sleep, I guess.
Yeah. Also, the other thing is that they always have like somebody else is doing the captain's log. Now it's this person. Now it's that person. Like any Joe Schmo just narrates on this show. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't know why. I feel like it's annoying. I mean, when it came to the original series, Captain Kirk is generally the one that does the narration, captain's log or whatever. Next Generation, you have Jean-Luc Picard. In this show, it's like every single person that wants to do a narration just does one, right?
Yeah, apparently. Like each episode gets to have somebody else doing their own.
Like even that stupid hologram girl got an episode. She was babbling, just anybody could just do whatever. I don't like that, Professor, to be honest.
Yeah. Some people have been pointing out that this shot has an interesting framing. That when you look at the staircase and everything else behind it in the background here, it has an interesting
vagina. It looks like a vagina
relationship to a woman's anatomy. Yeah,
everything on this show and everything on this show looks like that. Actually, like,
and so yeah, I said, you know what? The ship itself has a feminine anatomy look to it. This looks like a potential birthing canal. They keep referring to all the students as zygotes for some stupid reason. And so yeah, it's the female reproductive system here, birthing out the Doctor for some reason. But yeah, oh boy, and it only gets worse from there.
Only gets worse.
I was there the whole time, and nothing has changed.
And I'm going to say this. I like I said, I watched the first season of Voyager. If there's something important, I may watch other episodes just so. And now, even this week, you highlighted something that I think I didn't see, and I'll have to go back and watch it. I know people really like, Robert Picardo as the Doctor. I think he's a good actor. And the season that I saw, I didn't hate him or anything, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about a hologram, in general. I understand what they tried to go for with this. I've never been 100% sold on it. I kind of let it slide with this Doctor. Once they brought in like Hologram Girl, I think that they took it too far, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. Like the most you could, conjure up here and just sell me some nonsense is like the Doctor, but once you're already bringing like, Hologram Girl into the story, it's too much.
Well, we get started here. We don't know how much time has passed since the last episode. They don't really tell us. We do know that in the previous episode they said like 2 months had passed since the accident, or not the accident, but the whatever happened on the ship during those training exercises. And now we have Cadet Cadet Tarima, who is now returning from after she's recovered from her coma. So she's coming back, but for whatever reason, I don't know why this makes a difference, since they're basically just Hufflepuff and Slytherin here, but they've decided that she needs to be in the academy instead of in the war college. Did this make any sense to you, Price?
It didn't. I remember we were actually DMing each other, just so people know watching this. We both watched it at the same time, just as it aired, like when they added it to streaming. And we usually DM each other. And that's something that we were DM. And I think I asked you, I said, I thought maybe there was something wrong with me. And I just said to myself, what does it even matter if she's in the War College or the Starfleet Academy? Don't forget that stupid exercise, they were both there.
Yeah.
There's no hierarchy here, and none of these people act like any kind of commanders anyways. I don't see that the War College act like any differently than the Starfleet Academy people. It's all the same mentally challenged type of behavior. I don't want to use the R word, but they deserve that I would use the R word, but I'm going to be nice and just say they all look like they're all Gen Z weirdos that are mentally challenged. I haven't seen any school do something different than the other school until now.
Yeah, they have the same gym. They use the same facilities. They're in the same classes. It makes no sense as to why. Oh well, now she needs to be in the academy instead.
Yeah, no, it doesn't make sense at all. It doesn't make sense at all. Again, this once again highlights the poor writing of this show, because if this show was well written, then they would have taken the time to show what was the difference between these academies. Instead, you never understand. There's a few things that never work here. Why is the school also a ship? Why is the chancellor also a captain? Why are the cadets suddenly doing stuff on a bridge? Why are they training in real settings, aside, like, and not virtual settings? What's the difference? Why are there's two colleges here that don't seem any different from each other? If you're the parents of this girl, and the academy is like, don't worry, she was in the War College, but we're going to bring her to Starfleet, don't worry. What does that even make a difference? It's nothing. If the parents didn't want her here, they'd probably pull her out. And if I were the parents, I would pull her out. A cadet and an officer is dead, and nobody's even asking any questions here.
Yeah. So we get to see she's come back. Now she's in the academy for whatever dumb reason they've made up here. It doesn't make any sense. She's in the academy instead of the War College, and everyone is looking at her askance. You'll notice that all the looks, it's like they're like looking at her funny, or it's almost like they're whispering behind her back about her or something. Like every single look that she gets. Well, of course, later on, and every other time that we've seen Hologram Girl, everyone looks at her and like their eyes are smiling, and she's the most wonderful, amazing thing ever. It's kind of absurd, right? And so she's come back, and she has an evolved neuro-inhibitor. She tore the last one out, just ripped it right out of her
I don't even
right out of her
understand.
spine.
I don't understand what that means. I asked you this while we were watching, and I don't even know if you explained it to
It
me.
doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's just like, oh well, it's like newer technology, and so it's gonna make it. They say it's gonna make it so that she can explore her empathic abilities or whatever. They keep confusing being empathic with being telepathic.
The people writing this show don't
Pure-blooded-
know the difference. They don't
No, they're
understand. They haven't
idiots.
gone to Google the difference.
Pure-blooded Beta Zeds are telepathic. They can communicate with each other mentally. They can communicate with other species that are attuned to them. They can communicate to them mentally. They can hear, they can see other people's thoughts. They are telepathic. The only one who was empathic was Deanna Troi in TNG because she was part Betazoid. But they don't care, and they don't understand the difference, and it's so irritating.
Price of Reason Live, Professor R2, I found the perfect Star Trek original series quote for New Trek Academy. It comes from Way to Eden, Kirk. One of them was in Starfleet, referring to space hippies.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Way to Eden. Going down to Eden. Yay, brother. God, that episode is great. The space hippies. It's corny as hell, but it's also so funny to have those characters in there. He is Herbert. I am not Herbert. He is not Herbert. We reach. It's such a stupid episode. It's great. Anyway, let's get back to this. I don't want to spend all night on this episode. It's
no,
bad.
we have to go through it,
bad.
Professor. There's going to be a lot of annoying things going on here. But go
so
on.
they are going to transfer her to the academy to help heal her mind and spirit, which will take more time. Okay, sure, whatever. So that they meet her here when she gets back. She's got a bigger zit on her neck now. I don't know how that makes it evolved, but sure.
She's got a what on her neck? A bigger inhibitor? What did you say?
Yeah, it looks bigger to me. It looks chunkier than the old one she had.
I
like
guess.
it's supposed to be like better, but
stupid blue light. And I see. I struggle with how to explain this. I don't know if this lady is a bad actress or not, but her performance in this role annoys me every time I see her on screen. And it could be that that's just how she's told to act. And like, I don't want to just, single out this actress and say like that she personally, like her acting annoys me. But man, between the way the character is written very poorly and this actress and her delivery of the performance, it's not working for me, Professor.
No, it doesn't work for me at all.
Maybe there would be a weird teen drama that you'd put her there and she'd suddenly be fine. Something else. This doesn't work for me. This is just like, I see her and I get annoyed. I know how. I don't have any explanation for it. I just see her like, her. I just see her, and that's the emotion that I get. That I already annoyed,
yeah,
and I want her not to be on screen anymore. I mean, honestly, most of the people on this show are like that. Hologram Girl, I feel the same way. TikTok Girl, there isn't one character I like on this show. That's the truth. I don't see one character that I'm like, I kind of like this character. There's nothing for me to work with here, Professor.
Yeah, and I was going to point something out too. There's something weird going on here. Look at these uniforms. Look at the uniforms for the other characters here.
Yeah.
Okay. Look at her uniform.
Right, they had these kind of red things, and she doesn't have them.
And she doesn't. And then also look at the collar. She has no collar on her thing. Like all of the others have a collar and they have like a zipper going up the front and everything.
That's true.
Why does her uniform look completely different other than to make her look like she's stuffy and like, I don't know. I don't understand why they decided to costume her differently from every other character. It's bizarre.
It doesn't make any sense.
It's bizarre.
In theory,
these are supposed to be uniforms, right?
Listen,
Everyone,
listen. Why does the Klingon guy wear a skirt? You don't know why he
I
wears a
know.
skirt. You know what I mean? Like, does it make sense that he's wearing a skirt? It doesn't make sense, but he wears it anyways. And this actress, in theory, you could say like she's not like terrible looking or whatever it is, but somehow she still annoys me nevertheless, and I don't know why. But go on.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think she's the best looking.
No, I don't think she's the best
ladies
looking, but
here.
I'm just saying, like, you could say that she's not horrendous looking, but somehow I
No,
don't care.
she's not ugly. I'm not
She's
saying
not
that.
ugly,
I'm
but
just,
I when I see her on screen, I want to not see her anymore on screen. I want them to show me something else. Sorry.
when she's on screen, I want to see something else. Yeah, fair enough, Price. Fair enough.
There's something the way she delivers her lines that just annoys me so much. I wonder if she's that annoying in person or just on the show she annoys me. In any case, now
Yeah,
they're
so
here.
they're welcoming her back. Yeah, they're now welcoming, not just welcoming her back, but also now she's in the academy instead of the war college, even though there's basically no difference between the two. And she's kind of irritated that she's been pushed out of the war college for some reason. We then we get to see that they have all of our central characters that are in the academy, that they're all on the bridge during some sort of exercise, and they're saying that, oh well, they're still they all have stuff that they're still hanging on to. They're all hanging on to this trauma from what happened on the Miyazaki, even though months have passed now. They can't let it go, and it's impacting them being able to work together. And so they show they're doing some exercise on the bridge. Again, why are they doing this on the bridge instead of in a holodeck? Don't know. But they're on this monstrous huge bridge, and they're yelling at each other, and and then someone says something like, "Who's in command?" Well, we know who's in command.
Nobody.
Because it's the person in the captain's chair.
Tignataro, sorry.
It's supposed to be Jet Reno. She's supposed to be in command. And they're supposed to be manning the different stations. So the fact that they're not coordinated, they're not working together, they can't focus on one particular goal is her fault. It's her fault because she's supposed to be the one who's keeping everyone in line, directing everyone, giving them their orders, telling them what they're supposed to be doing, and she's just sitting there with her thumb up her ass. So,
but I have another question for you. How does Tignataro get so much screen time? Her character brings nothing to the table. Every episode, they shove her into so many scenes. This actress really doesn't do anything for me. There's nothing. If she's supposed to be funny, it's not working for me. She's supposed to be a good actress, not working for me. I don't know what she's doing here. And she's in every episode in several scenes. Like, they keep showing her over and over again. But sorry, go on.
Yeah. Speaking of a face that makes me want them to move on to just about anything else, right? We've got Hologram Girl here. They're saying, oh, that was a spectacular failure of teamwork. Yeah, you know what it was a spectacular failure of? Command. You were not telling them what they were supposed to be doing. You don't just have a bridge full of individuals all just deciding what they're supposed to do at any given time. That's why there's a captain. There is someone there who's directing action. And yes, they need to be on task doing what they're supposed to be doing, but that's the purpose of the captain, is so that you are keeping all of this, is everyone's moving in the same direction. Everyone's doing what they're supposed to be doing, but they're following the captain's orders in what they're doing. And yeah, the captain here is just sort of sitting there doing nothing. So yeah, of course they're disjointed and they're not able to, complete any sort of actual task. But again, yeah, they're just on the bridge instead of being in a holodeck for some reason.
I want to answer this question. Albatross 4920 says, is Tignataro her actual name or the character's name? The actress's name is Tignataro, and the real name of the character is Jet Reno. And honestly, both of these names aren't doing it for me personally.
Yeah, they're both terrible, terrible names. But yeah, Jet Reno, that's so like, I don't know. It's pretentious. It's irritating. I hate even saying it.
Nice to see the dead man here. Just giving him a shout out. The dead man is a friend of the channel who has his own Star Trek channel, which you should always check out. And then, yeah, go on. Sorry, buckle up. She's gonna be here.
No. Yeah, you are fairly warned that yes, really irritating character incoming. We have we have a character like we mentioned earlier coming in from Discovery, Tilly, who's going to be entering into this episode fairly soon in about the most irritating way you can possibly imagine. So all of our central characters, they are being basically told on their pads that they need to be going to this one particular place. They're not sure why. They're all being told to report. So they're all showing up to this classroom area. You'll recognize this is the same space that they used for debate. This is all going to, show up here. And, they're going back and forth talking about, whatever's happening right now. And then she shows up. Again, you look at her uniform versus the uniform of the other characters, even the female characters, they don't have this weird high collar. Also, for some reason, she has some sort of bandolier. I don't get it. It's bizarre. But we're here and we get introduced to Tilly, who walks in as like, what does she say? It's so irritating. Wakey, Ractagino, and Bakey. What?
Wait, the Dead Man 79 says the uniforms are because she's from the War College. From what I can tell, the stripes are following the original series. People with gray stripes are different. Don't know why. Yeah, but the colors were for the Starfleet Academy, not for the whatever it is.
And she's not in the War College anymore, though. That's why her uniform is now an Academy uniform. It shouldn't be different from the rest of them.
Well, this is a very interesting username who can proudly say that they did not watch this episode. They're done with the show. Yeah, I've been watching it because I post reviews on my review channel.
Yeah.
And I think that people seem to somewhat at least enjoy my reviews, at least until now. Some people have enjoyed them, and for that I'm willing to continue. But yeah, it's not even an easy show to review. And Professor, you can confirm that every time we watch this, I start sending you messages saying, "How am I going to review this thing?"
How am I going to review this thing?
Right.
Yes.
But you understand how difficult it is to try to even explain what it is that I'm watching, because I'll put it this way. If there's, let's say, a show that's not so well written, it's like a murder mystery, and you watch and you have some plot points, a few general things that you had an issue with, and you're like, well, this part of the story didn't work, this idea didn't work. But here, there's nothing that works. Every scene of this show could be its own, probably hour discussion of what doesn't work about the scene if we were really to dissect it. Like there's nothing it has going for it. It just has a bunch of issues, and at the end, it's like issue after issue, and trying to explain this, plot which is so poorly written. I don't know why. I don't know why it's so hard to do it, but it is. And yeah, she's from Discovery. She comes in here because she wants to help them resolve their trauma. Right? That's the reason why she came here.
Yes. Well, we find out that she says she's been on rotation in the Beta Quadrant with the third years. Price, are we not told at the beginning of this episode that this is the first class returning, or the beginning of this series, this is the first new class in Starfleet Academy since it's reopened?
Yeah, how can they be third years if they just reopened this after like 100 years with the burn?
Yeah.
So it doesn't make any sense. You're right.
No. Where the hell do they get third years if this is the first year of new class?
It's a good catch, Professor. It doesn't make any sense at all.
There's the nonsense. Okay, so she shows up and she says that she is going to. She says she makes some ridiculous statement about the people that asked about why this is important. Two of them didn't, and they became capped. It's some just BS, stupid statement. theater is statecraft. Theater is going to change your life. Theater is how you learn to negotiate, and it's how you learn to be, it's like, shut up, you self-important theater kid. Shut up. Like, this is, I was literally squirming in my seat, like wanting to turn this off, which she's going over this just absolute BS. Like, oh, theater changes lives and changes empires, and it's how, it's like, shut the hell up. This is what the people writing this show think, Price. The theater kids who are writing the show think that what they are making is going to change the world.
They're saving lives, Professor. But you know what?
Saving lives.
I do want to say something. Even though I admit that I only watched a few episodes of Discovery and just stopped it because I saw it was garbage and didn't feel like watching it anymore, and I don't regret that. Over time, I learned from people things that they were doing on that show, but maybe I'd watch a clip, but I didn't feel like watching, all these episodes because just it's not, it's a waste of my time. But this character being here like as a cameo, it's kind of like if Marvel's Katie were to appear on Ironheart. You know what I mean? Like it's a cameo that nobody cares about, that of a character that nobody likes on a show that nobody cares about, that also nobody likes. It's like it's just shit cameoing on shit, if you know what I'm trying to say. Like,
Yeah.
they're making it seem like her being here is some important thing, but the question is important to who? Like, there aren't enough viewers that care about this stupid character or about this show. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I couldn't answer you. I couldn't tell you why they decided to put her in here. Nobody, other than
No,
like,
and I'll tell
it
you why,
was
because Kurtzman is like a legend in his own mind. He still doesn't understand, after all of his failures, he still doesn't get it, that he's like a loser and that everything that he does is shit and nobody gives a shit about it. He's like a delusional hack, and in my opinion, like kind of, heist man, just stealing, taking over IPs and producing shit. Sorry, Sean. And in his mind, he probably sat in his writer's room and said, everybody loves Tilly. What if we brought Tilly into Starfleet Academy? And probably all the mentally challenged writers around him, activists, they all clapped and said, that's great. We love Tilly. And that's how we ended up with this. But in reality, outside of his writer's room with his weirdos that he sits there, no regular person gives a shit about this. Sorry, Sean.
no,
But go on.
nobody cares. No, yeah, it's irritating. It's ridiculous. It's the writers talking through the characters. This is not the character talking. This is the writers just talking at you through the characters, which I always hate. That drives me nuts. When you can hear the writer's voice in the character rather than the character speaking, drives me mad. But anyway,
people are saying they thought she was cute in season 1 of Discovery. I don't know. It's not my cup of tea.
She was early on, she was made out to be kind of a cute, very quirky character, and she's basically she's kind of mildly autistic, and she has trouble in social situations and stuff like that, but later on, her character gets more and more cocky and starts coming into her own, and realizing her power as it would be as a feminist, and then blah. It just gets worse and worse until we get this here where she's just hamming it up and getting in your face the whole time. So it's irritating. They're going to pick a play. They're going to use a play so that they can study theater, and they're all going to go read plays and find a play that they want to use, and they're going to bring it back, and they're going to decide on what play they're going to do for their ridiculous theater class. But we're basically told pretty quickly through some discussions that what this is about, it's about them being able to process their trauma. Price. It's a way that they're going to be able to process everything.
Here I have an issue.
They've been going through.
I have a really big issue. After that stupid episode where the officer and the cadet died, from that moment, as much as I didn't like this show, that's the moment that I did like. Me not liking the show somehow got exponentially worse, which didn't even seem possible, because you would think that in the aftermath of that, immediately a few things need to happen. One, investigation, scrutinize it, like, people scrutinizing, like, Holly Hunter and even that admiral. Like, people have to, like, be accountable for the fact that an officer and a cadet died in what seems very negligent behavior on their end, and the way they had them do these exercises. So this is one thing that needed to happen. The other thing is, maybe a more somber mood, maybe these students feeling guilty. One of them, Caleb, should have felt guilty. That's, discount Spock kind of sacrificed himself to save his life. Not even mentioned one time, this situation. And again, I said it in my reviews. Caleb, in a way, is also, and TikTok girl by extension, have some responsibility here, some contributing responsibility, that they actually invite, like, are the ones with the message with Paul Giamatti that put Starfleet Academy on his radar. Without that first episode of sending Paul Giamatti the message, he may not have even been thinking about Starfleet. Somehow, according to the logic of this show, it became more of a thing for him to start, like, messing around with them after that first incident, which again, they didn't even catch him. He left for no reason. He got away, and then he comes back and he does more damage. And I don't know. And at the end, nobody is accountable. Nobody feels guilty. And they already went and they did their spring break and they didn't care about anything. And now suddenly there's a big trauma. Now suddenly it's like kicking in. This doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, it's been months since this happened.
Exactly.
And none of them have in any way dealt with the, with the repercussions of what took place. They've all just been every last one of them have just been holding on to this for 2, 3, 4 months now at this point. And absolutely none of them is healthy enough to actually process their feelings here.
The other thing is, if this show was written by, like, people that aren't stupid, the next episode they continue real training, not whatever this Mickey Mouse training is. There's scrutiny. There's a committee that's questioning, like, the chancellor, the captain. Maybe the chancellor even gets sent away. He's fired. You know what I mean? They kind of let Holly Hunter skate by, they say that the admiral, he's in charge and, like, he has to get punished for what happened. Nothing. We don't hear anything. It doesn't even matter. A kid died and nobody cares. It's so odd to me that where's his parents? Nobody has anything to say about the fact that this kid died. It doesn't make any sense to me that this is how it would go down. And in addition, let's say you took it seriously, you have them do real training, and maybe, like, you see Caleb maybe in a situation that's similar about him and another cadet, and then he doesn't want the cadet in his mind. It kind of creates the flashback of the other cadet sacrificing himself, and that's where he kind of, instead of doing his simulation or his training, he kind of gets thrown off and he makes the wrong decision because of that incident that happened and because of how it impacted him. If he wasn't just a jerk off idiot like he is on this show. Do you get what I'm trying to say? If this show had any kind of real military feel or hierarchy, that could have been a real moment you could use. But at the end, it's a dumb moment on a dumb show. And the fact that they're trying to somehow address it and make it seem like it's meaningful, it's not meaningful. You blew it. You fucking blew it. You shitty writers. You couldn't even write, like, a children's book. You couldn't write anything. Sorry. Go on, Professor.
No. You just rip into it. It's fine.
No, but am I wrong on anything that I said? This
absolutely not. No, it's kind of ridiculous, honestly. So, moving on with the story anyway, we get they have to find a play. So, they are supposed to be looking for a play that they're going to present here, and when she gets to her room, apparently she's now sharing a room with Hologram Girl and Eyebrows Girl. They're all sharing the same room, and she's looking at plays. The Hologram Girl's looking at plays here, and she says, "Which plays are you looking at?" And they zoom in and they show her eyes, like, doing their computer thing, and she says, "All of them." Right. So apparently she's reading 3,000 years plus worth of plays. Okay, so whatever. But of course, she picks the theater kid's favorite, Our Town, which, granted, has been is well known as is a play that has been praised in a lot of different areas as being a very classic play, one of the best plays ever written by some people's estimations. But anyway, yeah, they decide on Our Town. And that's going to be the play that they do, because this is the one that she picks out and
It
presents to
always
them.
annoys me, Our Town, and they always shove it into every show for like 50 years.
Yeah.
Every single show
because
they
that's
shove that stupid play. But
yeah,
yes, go
because
on.
every last one of these writers who's gone through theater school, they've gone through writing school, they've gone through whatever, they've all seen Our Town and been told it's the most amazing thing ever, and so they have to shove it into absolutely everything.
I
Right.
see.
So yeah, because it's obviously it's the best ever. What other play would we need to talk about when there's Our Town?
Of
Right.
course.
So, yeah. Oh, this pillow is theater. Oh, shut up. Oh.
Yeah, it's annoying.
So she starts glitching again, even though we were told in the previous episode that she was going off to a hollow spa.
Oh. Sorry, go on.
I need something to bash myself in the head with.
This annoys me so much.
She was going off to a hollow spa to get herself repaired, get her code fixed, but apparently it didn't fix anything, and so she's still glitching, and she's hiding it from everybody. Stupid opening with the dumb tree growing.
The worst opening, and I
Yeah,
said it before. This opening makes the opening to Enterprise look like a masterpiece. I yearn for that like song with the Enterprise. I
Okay.
love that song.
I'm not sure I yearn for it, but I would definitely take it over this.
Faith of the Heart is starting to look good.
I still hate that song.
Faith of the Heart is starting to look pretty darn good, Professor, but go on.
Yeah.
Oh, Tig Notaro again.
Yeah, she's like, "Oh, yeah, I could feel you coming. I knew you were going to be here, whatever." And so they're catching up. They're like, "We're the two ladies from Out of Time," or whatever, except that they weren't the only two ladies on the Discovery when it traveled through time. There were numerous other women. But anyway,
I also have another question. Women that traveled 600-700 years into the future, they really are the same as other women there. You know what I mean? Like those would be the people that they take the Starfleet. I feel like those would be the people that they put in some kind of asylum. Do you get what I'm saying? They're not the same. If not, right now, okay, I'll put it this way. Right now, you and I are doing the Night Owl, and a guy that lived 700 years ago has been he traveled through time, and now he's on the Night Owl with us. What are we going to talk to him about?
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? How are we going to find common ground with a guy from 700 years ago? How can he just arrive here and be like, "Oh, we really need you for Starfleet Academy.
Yeah.
We really need you for the Night Owl. Please join us."
Well, yes, and that was one of the stupid things that they did with Discovery. Was after they traveled through time, everyone was like, "Oh, Discovery, you're from the time when we still had a Starfleet and a Federation that looked up to great ideals and wasn't afraid. You're exactly who we need to lead us, even though your technological knowledge is 600 years out of date and everything else, right? That it was absurd. They're just fawning over the crew of the Discovery, like, "Oh, you're everything that we hoped we could be again. You're the perfect ambassadors to rebuild the Federation and rebuild Starfleet." Oh my God, just kill me. So yeah, they're hanging out with Chancellor Barefeet here. And what are we gonna drink? Oh, something with a proof. So once again, they completely forget the fact that there is synthahol, which has been around for 1,000 years, and so they can drink something and not get drunk, not get wasted. But they're gonna do it anyway. She's got plenty of liquor sitting around, even though we never saw that in a captain's captain's room.
She gets hangovers and stuff. It's all very strange.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're gonna drink. Let's get wasted. Yeah. So they talk about whatever and basically hint that yes, she's not just there to teach theater. She's there to help these children process their emotions and their trauma.
A few things.
Uh,
Burnham is still 800 years in the future too. Probably like the finale,
yes.
they'll like roll her out and be like, "Look, it's Burnham." But before we do that, there's also a super chat from the Dead Man for 199, who's a friend of the channel, has his own channel about Star Trek, which you should check out. Admiral, there be whales here.
Admiral, there be whales here.
That's from the fourth Star Trek movie, right?
Yes, the one with the whales.
Right.
Star
the
Trek
one with
4,
the whales.
the one with the whales. Yep.
Is it the Voyage Home? What's it called, that one?
Yes, the Voyage Home. That's the actual name.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, it's funny. For years, I always forget the name of the fourth one. I don't know why. Maybe it's just like it never really left an impression. After like the motion picture, Wrath of Khan, and the Search for Spock, the Voyage Home really feels like kind of a generic name. You know, it
Yeah.
doesn't quite have the same impact as the others.
Well, that might be partially because everyone just refers to it as the one with the whales.
That's how I refer to it. I always like many times I've said, "Oh, the one with the whales." I know it's the fourth one. I know it's the one with the whales. If I really think, I know it's it's the Voyage Home. I think I saw that one in the movie theater, actually,
Yeah, I
surprisingly.
saw that's the one I got to see in the theaters. Yeah, that was
I think that I saw that
really
one in the
enjoyable.
theater. I
I had a
think I
great time
saw
with that
this.
one. I still enjoy that one. I know it's a little more lighthearted. It's it deals with time travel, which is always a little bit weird. Some of the paradoxes and stuff you have to deal with, but none of that bothers me. I actually do enjoy that movie quite a bit. There's a lot of fun bits in it. There's a lot of great character moments, and regardless of whether it's a little more lighthearted than some of the other films, it's not quite as serious of a science fiction film. It's still very fun.
Istophobo says, Professor Synthol gets you drunk. It's just you can shake it off right away if you need to.
As I believe they say, the effects can be easily dismissed, is what they say in the in TNG when you see it.
I see. And then you have
yeah.
Albatross4920 with $5 super chat. Thank you. I want Holly Hunter to say, "Hey, wow," like Owen Wilson does. I'd give this show a few points if they did that a few times each episode. I don't know
Hey,
why, but
wow.
they could try it. Well, let's see if it'll help.
Well, he's trying to get back with his girl here. He doesn't know how to talk to her, even though he's already reached out to her. I would assume if it's been a month since the last time he sent her a message, that like they're communicating.
Right. They're so stupid, these writers. They just wanted to create the conflict. You know what I mean? He didn't write her a message. She got the message late. She this and that. What is this shit? This isn't even good for like a teen drama. This isn't good for anything. This is like 5-year-old children wrote this. It's so stupid. And he's like talking, and then she doesn't want to talk to him. Later, she even says, I don't know if it's here. She's like, "Yes, you did send a message. It sure took you time." This whole idea of this fucking idiot not being able to send a voicemail, sending it later, and her offended because she didn't get the voicemail sooner. It's like, what are we even doing here, Professor? What are we even doing here? What is this show? Do you get what I mean? Like, imagine we're watching like The Next Generation. Have you ever seen Picard walk out and be like, "Oh, Beverly, you didn't send me a voicemail in time. Oh, Jean-Luc." Like, I never saw anything like that. This is idiotic and stupid. There's no excuse for it. But sorry, go on.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, we get to see them trying to him trying to get back with her. She's really like, "Oh, you don't want to be around me. I'm a freak," and all this stuff again. It's like, just how
Nobody
many
thinks
times
she's a freak.
do they have to go back to this?
Right? Who said she was a freak? I hate this stupid thing. Why? Because she did the Dark Phoenix or whatever it is that she did on the thing. Basically, nobody even knows. She got into supposedly his head. Nobody saw her there except for him. She yelled, and some creatures died. Generally speaking, like that probably was helpful. I mean, Sure, she stood there initially as the creatures killed Discount Spock and did nothing. She only started screaming once they already killed somebody, and then she killed them, but somehow her screaming didn't impact the cadets, which should have been deafened by it. None of this makes any sense. I don't think anybody cares. I don't think nobody was talking about her that she's a freak in the previous episode. Nobody was even thinking about her. Nobody gives a shit about her. But sorry, go on.
No, nobody cares about, like, nobody thinks she's a freak. Nobody is judging her or anything, like, and again, they at the end of that episode, before, she saved their lives, a little bit late. She did it after someone had already been killed, but when she saved their lives with using her empathic powers to scream at them at long distance or whatever the hell happened, it made no sense. It might as well just be magic. When she used her magic powers to pop their heads, before that happened, they had already basically, like, talked it over, and he told her, I don't think you're a freak. I was scared by somebody seeing a part of me that I don't normally share, and that was scary for me, and I understand that you are who you are, and I've accepted you. Like, he told her this. And then they go back immediately. They go back on this immediately at the start of the next episode, saying, "Oh well, I'm afraid she doesn't, know how I feel about her," and everything. And then they continue doing it here. They continue with this. Like, it doesn't make any sense, except for the fact that she is some kind of damn drama queen who has to just make absolutely everything about her, and she has no confidence in herself to be able to just assert herself and just be who she is. It's absurd. It's really irritating, right? Yeah. So he's trying to talk to her, and she's like, "Oh, what are you looking for?" I don't know. We get he's the Skirt's Klingon here is pitching that does his skirt have a slit in it now?
I don't know, man. I don't know why he's wearing a skirt. And I'm sorry, I have to say this again. There are gay people in the world. I'm sure there's plenty of gay people, and I've met gay people before. I even, you're sometimes in a work setting, you've worked with people. I have never seen, maybe this is a thing now, that this is popular now. I've never seen somebody that because he was gay was wearing a skirt. I honestly, I can't think of that. Yes, there's people that are these kind of like drag queens or whatever they are, but generally speaking, the fact that you're gay doesn't necessarily mean that you're wearing a skirt all the time, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm trying to understand it. I don't get the idea. Like, okay, he's gay, but why is he wearing a skirt all the time? Also, he's not in a ballroom now in like RuPaul's Drag Race. He's like at the academy. This is supposed to be a serious place. Why is he wearing a skirt all the time?
Easy access.
Oh, all right, never mind. What is it with his testicles? With his 4 testicles?
Bryce didn't like my answer. He didn't like.
I like your answer. This guy annoys me so much, and also,
he's
why
awful.
is he talking about his testicles? Remind me.
No, so he's telling this play that he's picked, which is a Klingon play. Which, why would he pick that? Because he's not a Klingon. He doesn't care about Klingon tradition. He doesn't care about honor. He doesn't care about any of the things that would be in a Klingon play. But anyway, he's clearly telling, oh, we should do this, and they are served the hearts and the quadratesticles. Why? Why did you have to put this in here? Why? Because they wanted to be like, see, Klingons have 2 of everything, so they've got 4 testicles. Ha 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 ha. My God, these people are immature children. They have to put drives me nuts. See, because they got 2 dicks, so they must have 4 testicles.
Does he say they have 2 dicks, or he just says they have 4
no,
testicles?
that was established in Discovery, where there's a Klingon who's taking a whiz on on a street corner, like just out in the open in this slum area, and there's 2 streams of piss coming out at the same time. So it was established in TNG that they have a lot of redundant organs, right? It's part of how they survive as a warrior race, is that they can take a lot of damage because they've got redundant organs. Well,
Yeah.
then they expanded that out to, oh, well, they must have redundant dicks. And if they have redundant dicks, they must have, redundant testicles now. They got to have four nuts. It's so weird. God, I hate it. So then, he says something about being a Klingon opera. You weren't supposed to bring an opera, dumbass. You were supposed to bring a play, not an opera, but whatever. So she wants to jump up and, she's got the play. Oh, it's an ancient play from Earth. Yes, we know exactly the one. It's the one that all the theater kids always talk about and always want to do. Yes, it's Our Town. We got it.
By the way, quickly, if you're watching this and you came from my other channel, because I have the review channel and the live stream channel, if you're not already subscribed to the live stream channel, you should do that now. So that's what I recommend. Go on, Professor.
No, it's So she's like, oh, it's about this and these two people who don't want to be married and all this stuff. Yeah, okay, yeah, we got it. There's a stage manager. Sick. What? So
Isn't that part of like Our Town that they have the narrator? Is that the stage manager?
The narrator is actually a part of the play.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's called the stage manager. That's part of the
Right. I remember. It's a dumb. Again, it's fine. It's a classic. People like it.
It's a classic.
Not
It's
for
been around
me.
forever.
Not
but
my cup of tea. But I get it. Okay.
So they're looking through it and they're talking about it. We're gonna do this play. And then she gets up and she glitches out and collapses. And so they take her to the doctor, who looks her over and says, oh, you're having all these glitches. They didn't actually fix anything. You've continued, these glitches are only getting worse. And he says something about, she's not a machine, and then goes on to talk about how she has a processor. And it's like, which is it? Okay.
They haven't explained until today. They haven't explained how there's a hologram that does all of this. She doesn't seem to have an emitter. Is she a machine? What is she? They never explain this properly. And it changes from episode to episode because they themselves don't know and they haven't given any thought to it. Also, if there's already a hologram like this, why does she look like this? Why does she act like this? She looks and acts like somebody you'd see walking around, in 2026. There's nothing about her that gives even a feeling that there's a little bit of artificial, that she was manufactured, that she was something. It's not like with Data, which they really managed to bring that point across. In her case, it's nothing. It's just, I can't take this seriously, this whole hologram thing. It's bullshit. But sorry, go on.
It's just stupid magical thinking, it's not really sci-fi, right? They do actually, though, they do show her emitter in this. They do show it later, so at least we get that much explained to us, but it should have been explained a long time ago, right? How she was possible, because we know about the doctor. He had a mobile emitter. He needed that mobile emitter in order to leave the holodeck or leave any area that had holo emitters. Of course, that was a long time ago in the story. In this universe of Star Trek that they're playing in, but they never really explain, like, how is it that she's walking around everywhere. They never explained that she had a mobile emitter of some kind. They just said she's photonic. That's all they really told us.
But you're the one that brought this up, that if they wanted to show that she got injured, they could have done something where they shot her emitter. So then at least you understand what happened. It at least makes some kind of sense. Instead, they didn't shoot her emitter, and now she was glitching. It's like when they shot her, she immediately started glitching. They did that from that episode, and it was stupid then, and it didn't get any smarter. It's still stupid, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. And so we find out that yes, she's repeatedly been having these overloads her processor can't handle. So it's so dumb that they want to say, oh, she's not a machine. Yeah, she is a machine. So is the doctor. So is Data. they are sentient machines. They have agency. They're they're individuals, but they're still machines. Stop acting like to call them a machine is like a racist slur or something. It's so stupid. She's having these malfunctions. He says something about her processor not being able to handle things, and that this error is self-generating. It keeps coming back no matter what kind of patches or anything they try to do. It keeps coming back over and over and over and overwhelming her processor. So again, we didn't have her emitter damaged or something like that. Like something in her code isn't able to work. And of course, immediately I'm listening to this and I'm like, oh, she's in a cycle of trauma. She keeps experiencing trauma and she's not able to process her trauma. Like this is immediately what I said when I was watching this, which of course we find out is exactly what's going on. So they decide
exactly.
the only way that they can deal with this is to take her back to her home, whatever it is.
Cucks.
Yeah. Her home planet, asteroid, whatever it is, Cask, Amontillado Prime, whatever. They have to take her back there. God, I hate this ship, Price. I hate this ship so much. It's so freaking ugly. Of all Star Trek, man, in the movies and then in TNG, like it was starship porn, man. There were ships in there that were gorgeous. And you saw these new designs and you'd be like, oh, I love what they did with, like, they changed it and they did this and they kind of, evolved the design a little bit. The ships that have been designed for for Discovery and then for this show are ugly as sin. And this is the worst of all of them. It is awful. I hate this thing with a passion. It is so ugly.
Ugly, I agree.
God, so dumb. We move on. She's left for Cask, and they're like, oh, she left us little gifts. She left the play saying that she wanted Trauma or whatever her name is, Tarima. They wanted her to play this one part, and left her a toothbrush because earlier in the episode she mentioned that she had dropped her toothbrush in the toilet accidentally. So she left her a toothbrush. Okay.
Why does the hologram need a toothbrush at all?
Well, it wasn't the hologram toothbrush. It was eyebrows toothbrush.
Eyebrows. Okay.
Yeah, it knocked her toothbrush into the toilet. She could just replicate another one.
Right.
It's not hard. But anyway, she left her a toothbrush.
1,000 years in the future, you'd think that was possible. Yeah.
Yeah. And then of course she gives the sage advice that is now the standard of all advice that we get in all modern media. Don't be a dick. So that's apparently just the level of wisdom that we've risen to with these writers for these shows and for what was that? That was the third Ant-Man movie, Quantumania. Don't be a dick. That was the height of their insight into human nature.
Yep.
Okay. So they all get back together. They're going to be working on this play, but none of them care. They want to know exactly what's going on with Sam. They can't focus on this play. They're all reading it, and they're terrible at it. They're just, completely emotionless reads. Talking
they're so
about
worried about some annoying hologram.
Yeah, and they just she wants to know what's this scene about. Was it because again they're trying to use this play to help them somehow process their trauma and their frustration.
But the thing is, I want to say another thing that's important. In all of this episode, when they talk about their trauma, I didn't hear once where Caleb is like, that man sacrifices, 2 men sacrificed their life for me. What I have to live with that. You know what I mean? That's the trauma that you want to hear from a guy who had that kind of experience. Instead, it's like,
Exactly.
what am I going to do with my feelings? I sent you a voicemail. No, you didn't send me. You sent me a voicemail late. That's the trauma that we get. Do you get what I mean? Like, this
I
is
know.
not trauma. This is bullshit. The people writing this, they're not smart enough to even pretend to address a topic like this.
Read by nature. That's great. He says, "Don't be a dick." Sun Tzu, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably something Sun Tzu said. Yeah. It depends on the translation you're looking at. If these writers were translating it, I'm sure that would be in there. They're going through this dumb play, talking about it, and we want to, we don't want to do this. This is dumb. And then she starts calling out Tilly for exactly what she's doing. Don't you see this? She's trying to use this as a way to get us to talk about this and look for some, stupid trauma and whatever. Yeah, because that's exactly what she's doing. Call her out. That's fine. They get back to this shuttlecraft, which also looks like ass. Just like all the other ships in this show. And apparently the warp effect now looks completely different. I don't know why they changed it. This looks terrible. But whatever. They're going to a different planet.
I want to warn you, Professor, that this scene really annoyed me, and I think I messaged you as soon as it happened. But go on.
Yeah. So they're headed to the other planet. It says it has an extreme gravitational gradient. I don't think that was gravitation had anything to do with it. It existed in a different. It exists in a slightly different space-time, so time is passing more quickly inside of this, this area. And they do mention that, yes, this happened in an episode of Voyager. Actually, a pretty decent episode of Voyager, to be honest. It's called Blink of an Eye, where they encounter a planet that is sort of trapped in a different space-time where time is passing at a much higher rate on the planet than it is on Voyager and outside of that space where the planet is. And so Voyager basically, when it's going in to investigate, because of some of the strange dynamics around the planet, the Voyager gets pulled in sort of to its gravitational pull and sort of locked in there, and it can't get out. And that means that now Voyager is sort of stuck above this planet where they can be seen by the people on the planet, but the evolution and everything that's happening on the planet is happening exponentially faster than it is on Voyager. So Voyager's able to look down and see like, oh, wow, an entire town just sprung up in like the last 10 seconds. Oh, now that town is a metropolis. It's been, time is passing. It's been 100 years or whatever in the last hour. We've seen like this civilization evolve, empires rise and fall and all this stuff. So, I mean, it's a kind of a fascinating idea, but then you also find out on the other side that on the planet, they're seeing Voyager. It's like stuck up there in the sky since they've been able to have, radio, and they've been able to use telescopes. They've been trying to communicate with them, and they've been trying to reach out to them. They even have cartoons and action figures and stories and their religious texts about the sky gods that live in this thing up in space. And so there's this interesting thing that happens throughout the episode. It is actually kind of an interesting episode with an interesting sci-fi idea. But in that episode, one of the ways that they try to find out what is happening on the planet and what kind of cultural impact Voyager has had on that planet is that they send the doctors down with his mobile emitter to go check out what's going on there. And while he is beamed down to that planet, there's an error. There's a problem with the transporter. They were supposed to leave him there in their time for only a few seconds. And because there's a problem, it takes them, like another 30, 45 seconds or something to beam him up. And now he's lived like 40 years on the planet in the time that he's stuck there.
Tomahawk 511 says Picardo looks like he's there for the check. I absolutely think that he's collecting a check. Ron Donofrio, it's just unfortunate that he bashed the fans, but he's obviously collecting a check. Ron Donofrio says, gotta hit the set. Good night, everyone. Thank you, Price of Reason, live and prof.
Yeah, take care, Ron. And Dead Man says, yeah, Blink of an Eye was pre-Interstellar and very good, starring Daniel Day Kim. Yes, it's sort of very young Daniel Day Kim, one of his first television roles. So yeah, a pretty good episode. They do call back to that. Some member berries. That's fine. Whatever. So they're going to take her back to her planet, and basically she is saying, "Oh,
just quick comment. Jason Webster for $2 says, Tommy Wiseau may as well be directing Star Trek. You know what? Even he would have more passion. At least it would be funny if he did it.
Yes. Earlier when that comment came in, I said something in the chat there. What was that? I said I did not kill that Klingon. I did not. Oh, hi, Kirk. So basically she's talking about how she wanted a mentor and he wasn't there. He couldn't be her mentor. He didn't want to be her mentor.
It's like, I'll tell him you were my mentor, even though you weren't. And she's like, basically telling him, like, you're a disappointing dick. He doesn't, and he's like, I don't owe you anything. And it's like, he doesn't know anything. He didn't sign up to be your mentor. I understand that now in this episode it's going to become relevant. He was never nobody ever appointed him to be her mentor. He's an instructor or whatever he is there. He does whatever his job is. He's not supposed to babysit her specifically. And she's like, I wanted you to babysit me. You wouldn't do it. You're a jerk. And it's like, bitch, shut up. Shut up. Sorry, go on.
Yep, and we do have a Rumble rant from Kivo 1961. If you want to show that there,
Simpsons did it. Hi, Kivo 1961.
And yes, he's right. Simpsons did it. I believe the name of that bit from Treehouse of Horror was the Genesis Tub. Where Lisa was doing a science project and ended up creating a civilization that advanced rapidly and living inside of a little like plastic butter tub or something. Yeah, that's a classic.
Did they do it before Voyager, or did they do it after?
way before Voyager. Okay. Yeah.
Interesting.
And actually the whole idea actually comes, I think there was there was an early episode of, it was either Outer Limits or Twilight Zone. I don't remember, but I think there was one of that had a similar idea, that there was a society that was advancing rapidly, moving faster than everyone else, but I could be wrong. I'm certain that's an idea that's been covered in sci-fi before the Simpsons did it, but yeah, Simpsons did do it. You are correct. And they did it before Voyager. So he's still trying to work through all of his stuff, and he gets up to go and I don't know if he's taking a walk or whatever, but he finds Tarama here, and she is blitzed. Once again, we have underage drinking. Again, I don't know that she's underage. A couple of the characters are kind of said that they're 21, but there's some of the others that are not. It's implied that they're younger than that, right? So I don't know. Anyway, apparently she has some liquor that she stole from her dad. Her dad's nowhere around, so I don't know when and where she stole this booze, but she says 1 shot gives you a nice buzz, 2 gets you wasted, and she said 3 puts you in the medical bay or something. I don't know. But she's saying it doesn't matter because she's got her new Neuro-inhibitor, so she can get as drunk as she wants. I don't know how that has anything to do with getting drunk, but whatever.
I don't understand this new Neuro-inhibitor. I DM'd you while we were watching this.
Yeah,
and I still don't get what does the new one do that the old one didn't do?
I don't know. It's just magical bullshit device, I think, is what it is. Sorry, Sean. We have, it's bigger and brighter than the last one. So that's the special.
I mean, until now, I haven't seen it change colors. Now it's just blue.
Yeah, it's just blue all the time now. But she's wasted and she starts coming on to him and she starts climbing all over him, which apparently in this situation it's totally okay for a woman to say no, and the man must respect that. But if the man says no, then it's the woman is there to be constantly offended by this idea. I'm not really sure how that works, but to his credit, to the writer's credit, like he's like, no, I'm not taking advantage of you. You're wasted. This isn't okay, right? But yeah, she gets all upset. She's like, oh, you think I'm a monster now? And we're like, again, we've already done this.
Nobody
We've
thinks
already
about her
done
enough
this.
for her to be thought of as a monster. Nobody gives a shit
No.
about her. It's not like I don't even understand. I feel like she's like also like a legend in her own mind, like Kurtzman. And the thing is, it's like you said. Finally, this stupid character Caleb does something with a little bit of character. He's like, I'm not going to take advantage of you. You're drunk. That's a good thing. What happens immediately? Like she's just whining and like, yeah, it's almost on the verge of presenting him in a negative light because he didn't, do it,
Yep. And Amplify in the YouTube chat's got it. She's got faster Bluetooth. That's why she got the new the new neural inhibitors got better Bluetooth than the last one.
Right.
It's got a new app that she can use with it, right? So she can use the app on her pad to adjust it.
Exactly. And
So
then she's like,
she's
maybe you can go to TikTok girl or whatever the other one's name. Like, why don't you go to
Yeah.
her? Why don't you go to her? Right? She says something like that to him.
yeah. So she
Doesn't she
wanders
say
her
that
way.
he could stick it to the other one, or what? Does she say?
Yeah. Oh, maybe you're more interested in her, and I believe I texted you, Price, at this point. And I was like, Caleb, run. You do not. This is your opportunity. Run from this crazy bitch.
I would run from both of these. Both of these ladies look like they're idiots. They're just so stupid, such dumb idiots, these two ladies. I wouldn't want anything to do with either of them. To be fair, though, Caleb, except for when you need to hack into something where he's the best, aside from that, he's usually an idiot, too.
Yeah. So it's just like, yeah, look, she is showing you that she is going to make your life a living hell, son. Get out of there. I don't even like you, Caleb, but I don't want to see a brother have to put up with that and live that life.
Right? I don't even like Caleb, and I felt bad for him here.
Exactly. So she goes back to her room where Eyebrows is there, TikTok girl's there, and they're, she starts, going through all of her trauma and talking about how, everything's
I thought they were
so
going to make
awful.
out. Because it's a Kurtzman Trek, I thought that they were going to start making out. But they start holding hands. I'm
Yep.
like,
oh,
is
yeah.
Kurtzman going there? Is Kurtzman going there? But the scene ends. And I'm like,
I was bracing myself, Price. I was ready for them to start kissing. I'll be quite honest. I thought
I was ready for it. I thought to myself, it's Kurtzman. It has to be going only in one direction. But somehow it didn't. It doesn't mean it won't happen, but it didn't. It didn't happen.
Yeah, but she wasn't, she wasn't getting her end away with Caleb, so she was going to go find someone else to give her the goods. But apparently, no, that didn't happen. She does hold hands with her while she's sort of falling asleep or whatever, because she's again drunk as hell. They get back onto the shuttle. They're traveling, and he said, "Oh, I'm so interested in this character of the stage manager in their play. Where are you reading the play? You're not in it. You're not even part of the class. You're not teaching that class. Why the hell are you reading this stupid play?"
Right.
It's so important. It starts analyzing the play, right? Again, I can hear the writers just talking through him, like, think about how incredibly important this play is. Think about everything that it means to you and all of the, profundity of this amazing play. Shut up. Shut up.
This is the only play those writers ever read, but let's not dwell on that.
Yeah, Estefobos says Twilight Zone to answer 5 minutes ago. Yeah, I think it was a Twilight Zone episode. Yeah, there was something in it about a world that was passing much faster than another one. Whatever. Great science fiction, but both Twilight Zone and Outer Limits. I always loved Outer Limits. Blistering with context, emotion. Oh God, just go away. They end up there's Cask. It's apparently a giant something a D20 in space. I don't know. So they show up at the planet, and then they're immediately sort of brought in to clearly what is this is, because now it looks like Starfleet Academy. So this is not the actual world of Cask. This is some other thing that's been created for them. It appears to be created in their minds, except two of these people are holograms. They're programs running on processors. One of them is a living human being. I'm not sure how they're all in the same space.
I don't know this either. Plus, I have another question. I understand the time passes differently on this planet, but does that mean that Holly Hunter it's taking her years out of her life?
Well, no, she's here, and so time where she is passing much faster. Yes, so while she is here, she is aging, but she's aging at the normal rate. But when she goes back, right, a lot of time there less time there will have passed than she has lived. But she doesn't stay here for 20 years or something, right? It's bizarre, yeah.
No, I mean, the doctor theoretically was here for 17 years. So the question is, she was here for 17 years.
No, she leaves after an hour or so, right?
I see.
So she leaves after just a little bit here. So no, while she's been here experiencing an hour or two, however many hours she was there, she goes back and 2 minutes have passed, right? For the doctor, he stays here for 7 years and like 2 weeks have passed. Or 17 years, whatever.
So stupid. It's so stupid.
They say, we're not going to grant you access to our world. So yeah, they've done something else here. They're saying, oh, you don't ever talk to Mork from Mork anymore, so we don't really know what's going on with you. They're gonna swarm her, meaning they're gonna move in and they're gonna take her over. They take over her body, so now she's in a white uniform somehow. Okay. And they're digging through her programming, trying to figure out what's going on. And they're looking through her memories, trying to discover what's going wrong with her. We go back to Starfleet Academy here. We've got, they're analyzing the play, whatever, trauma. Oh, I don't like to think about people dying. Oh,
And she's like, you're only here to make it seem like we're doing a play, but you want to talk to us about her trauma, yo.
Yeah. And so now she's able to
crying on the show. Yeah, they all cry all the time.
She's able to sort of embrace how this might help her, process things. But she decides no, she doesn't want to do that, and she's gonna leave. She doesn't want to be here anymore. Then they find out. Yeah, they say the damage to her is beyond repair. They can't fix it because it's not something that they know how to fix. They designed her, and now she's had experiences that they don't know how to help her process. They go back and they decide. They're talking about all of their trauma. They're talking about the loss of this character and that character and whatever. And now they're ready to start to use the play to help them process. And so they start working on the play themselves. Occam, this soy boy stands up and starts reading the play as his part of the stage manager. And so now they're all going to join in and they're going to start working on the play themselves. So they've embraced being theater kids. Hooray.
But now there's a part where they're like, we've looked at all of her particles and there's nothing we can do to help her, or something like that, right?
Nothing they do to help her, but they have another Voyager member Barry here for the Doctor, because he says, I didn't want to be your mentor. I couldn't be your mentor because every time I looked at your chubby face, I thought of my daughter that I had in one episode of Voyager, who existed in my life as part of who I am for all of a few weeks in real time in the show. But I was so connected to this fake daughter that I had in a hologram, who got in an accident and was killed, that now I could never imagine, even over 900 years later, I still haven't processed the fact that she died, even though she never actually existed, because she was just a hologram. But this is from an episode called Real Life. Not, I wouldn't say a bad episode, but here it just feels like it's cheap to go back and sort of dig that up, right? It's like, 900 years later, he still hasn't processed the fact that this hologram character he created as his daughter died.
Desperately trying to tie it to Voyager to make it seem like there's something important going on here.
For the moment you walked up to me, I saw my daughter, and he starts getting choked up and he starts crying. Everyone in the show must cry. They say they can't fix things because they don't have enough understanding of human emotions and all the experiences she's had, so that they can help her to process these things. And the Chancellor, Barefoot, she comes up with this idea that, hey, what if we gave her the tools to be able to process things? She never had an actual life, so she never had a childhood, so she never had an opportunity to actually learn how to process all of these different things that she would experience. And so we could start over and we could give her a childhood. And they're going to allow the Doctor then to be her parent. So he's going to be her parent and teach her how to grow up. I wonder if a doctor could teach a woman how to not be a fatty. Clearly not. Oh, there we go. There's a great shot of it. That is supposed to be her hollow emitter, light bead, whatever you want to call it.
But does she only have one like this now, or did she always have it?
I think it's implied that it was always there, but we've never seen it. They never mentioned it. They never talked about it. It may have made more sense that if she was injured in some way, that it would be damage to the processor, the actual
all they needed to
computing
do.
part of her.
If they would have damaged this, all of this would have made a lot more sense.
But Price, what we've learned is, in this episode, if you listen, the phasers were not actually what harmed her. She wasn't harmed by the phaser shots, Price. She was harmed by the trauma of the situation that she was in. That is what caused all the glitches. The phaser fire didn't actually hurt her at all.
But the problem with that is that they only showed her glitching once that she got hit by the phaser, meaning they literally, she got hit by the phaser and glitched on the spot. So are you saying that because somebody fired a phaser at her, she pretended she had like a trauma and then was affected immediately as it fired? It caused her to glitch?
Well, it caused her trauma. The trauma of her being shot at and her being in a situation where her friends were being shot. That is what caused the glitches. It's a terrible retcon, Price. It's dumb. They clearly had established before that being shot by the phaser had caused some sort of damage. But here they're saying that's not what it was. She was hurt by the traumatic experience, and that is what started the glitching, right? So anyway, this is supposed to be her hollow emitter thing. Istophobos says, how does she walk through a wall with that thing? Great question, Istophobos. I don't know. Clearly, it's stupid. So she gets birthed. She, as a hologram, she gets birthed as a baby, and the doctor is going to raise her. Interesting that they allowed a visibly black woman to be raised by a white man. I'm sure there's going to be some people online who have a problem with that.
Well, the thing is that that's exactly the reason why he had to be put in his place like 7 times before, because it's like you were so evil and stupid that you didn't help her and you were a jerk, and at the end he's like they're throwing him a bone and he can like prove himself. But see, do you get what I'm saying? If it would have been like the whole time that he's on the up and up, and then he's like he steps in and he's kind of noble and wants to help her, that would have been nice. Instead, it's like everybody tells him he's like the biggest loser and he's an asshole the whole time, and at the end he can finally be like, wait, look, I'm not such an asshole.
He can redeem himself by sacrificing himself to raising a young black child. So here's the big problem, Price, and this I'm going to say this is the biggest issue outside of all of the other absolute stupidity in this episode. He's supposed to now raise her 17 years. He's supposed to raise her on this, on this station to grow and whatnot. Let's see if I can get a picture of it. Whatever. Anyway, he's supposed to raise her here. And this, having a parent to raise her, is now supposed to help her to learn the skills to process her trauma. Price, yes. How is she supposed to experience trauma, loss, triumph, regret, any of these things that she needs to be able to process emotionally in order to move forward as an adult? How is she supposed to experience any of those things trapped on a space station with only her dad and no one else? No experiences, nothing. It's just apparently 17 years of the two of them.
To tell you the truth, I'm not 100% sure. I guess what they're trying to say is that, this upbringing, there's somebody like, looking out for her, nurturing, or whatever it is. That's probably in the writer's room of Kurtzman, what they said. Maybe, I guess, him raising her is better than nothing, but I don't know. It's all very dumb. This whole thing is idiotic. I couldn't stand this whole idea.
If they're going to have her learn to process all of these different emotions, she's going to have to be placed in situations that a child realistically would have to experience. We all have these formative things that do happen in our lives. Some of us have to face some pretty traumatic crap when we're kids that we have to learn to deal with, in order to, function as human beings, as adults, right? Many of us have had things like that. We've lost a parent, or we've lost a sibling. We've had to deal with being bullied, or having to deal with a serious illness and face our mortality as a young person. Like there's a lot of these things that young people have had to deal with in order to learn to process emotionally all of these, frankly, very traumatic things. She's not going to experience any of that here with just her and the doctor palling around on a space station. It's stupid. It doesn't make any sense.
It's very dumb. It's very dumb.
It doesn't make any sense at all. So they go back. They're working on the dumb play. Oh, look, he's raised her, and now she's got a different colored uniform somehow. Don't know what that's all about.
What happened to her gray uniform? Or it doesn't even matter at this point.
Well, now she's processed her trauma, and now she's able to come back to reality. And they're doing their dumb play.
And in the middle, Betazoid girl shows up, and she starts reading from the play too. Now she's overcoming her trauma, yo.
Yep. She's processed it, and she's able to do stuff. Oh, Tignataro's here.
Tignataro.
Good job, Red. Good job, Tilly. You helped them to process their trauma. Job well done. She's going back to her third year students that shouldn't exist.
I have a question for you. How are ladies from 700 years ago speaking the same like lingo as a lady who's from a few hundred? I guess she's a few hundred years old. Uh, how are they all speaking the same language, which is basically 2026 Gen Z weirdo talk?
I really don't know. This is
Again, if
so
suddenly like
irritating.
I don't know what if like I'm trying to think what historical figure can you think of from like I don't know like the 1300s. What have you got? An
I
English
don't
speaking one. Can you think of an English speaking one?
know.
So think of one and pretend now they're on like and now do a time machine and bring them to the night owl. What are we going to do with that person?
Well, to be honest, if they're that long ago, they're not even going to speak English in a fashion that we would even be able to
That's what
understand.
I'm saying. That's
They're
what
going to
I'm
be
saying.
speaking Middle English, and we're going to be completely lost. Yeah, we wouldn't even be
Exactly.
able to communicate. We definitely wouldn't have the exact same ridiculous sayings and
Okay,
euphemisms and
okay.
stuff like that.
Let's put it this way. Let's put it this way. King Edward III, okay? He was from the 1300s. If now like he travels through time and immediately upon his arrival you give him like, a microphone, connect, give him a laptop, fire up like the night owl. Have him like join our stream. It's me, you and King Edward III. We're not going to be able to have a conversation with him.
No, not at all.
Maybe we've seen enough fantasy stuff that we'll kind of be able to maybe understand what he's saying. I don't think that he can easily just talk like we can't just hang out with him, I think.
No, not at all. It's if you've ever looked at Middle English price, it's impossible. I mean, there's a few things where you might be able to suss out what someone's saying, but a lot of what they would be talking to you, like someone from that long ago, would be completely foreign. They might as well be speaking in Greek, right? You're not going to understand them. You're not going to be able to uh, to communicate with them. It's ridiculous that that these people who are supposed to be 1,000 years in the future from us sound exactly like people on TikTok today. It's
Right. That
it's
that's the part that doesn't make sense to me.
and
But
that is why it was actually incredibly smart when they were working in TNG, when they were working in, a lot actually in TOS, but especially in TNG and Deep Space Nine, they had this English dialect that they were using that was basically completely outside of a particular time, right? It
right.
was in a lot of ways very formal. It was established that like we're going to use this language that's sort of universal. It doesn't have any colloquialisms from the current time. It doesn't, we're not going to use swear words that would be used at this time. We're gonna pull this out so that it's basically a timeless version of English, right? So that was incredibly smart for them to do that. Of course, they have not done that here. It's pathetic. They're using all kinds of euphemisms and slang and stuff, swear words from the current language and whatnot. And it's ridiculous.
Karate Werewolf, nice to see you here for $2 says, imagine if Star Trek the original series used 60s lingo.
Groovy, baby.
Right, and they don't do that because they were smart enough. Because Gene Roddenberry was smart enough to understand that if they all do groovy, baby, that nobody believes that they're in the future.
Yeah, even when they did that hippie episode that we mentioned earlier, the hippie stuff is recognizably kind of hippie in the way that it's delivered, but it's.
Oh, what happened to your screen? I must have
Oh, we
shut
were
it
done
down.
with the episode. We got to the end. That was
We
the end
did
of
there.
it.
There
Yeah.
wasn't more.
Yeah, there's like 2 more shots of them. The whole gang, all of the students walking down the hallway, arm in arm, is all happy again, and
A gang
then
that we know nothing about any of these people. They don't
and
have any
then
character or personality. These are just like, one-dimensional, stupid characters that have some kind of identity thing going on and nothing else.
and then hologram girl walks back in, and absolutely everyone that sees her just lights up, smiling and
They
cheerful
love
and
her.
so happy that she's here. And it's ugh, awful. Awful. So yeah,
And
that's
nothing honestly, no matter how well you explained how awful it was, the feeling I had watching it was more awful than what you described, and I remember, like, writing to you when I was watching it. It was sort of I couldn't imagine at this point, I can't imagine how to make the show worse, yet somehow it's worse each week. Even I can't imagine it. I don't know what you can do already to make it worse than it is, and somehow that's the only thing they're good at. The only thing Kurtzman and his writers excel at is making the show even worse from week to week in a way that you think, no, it couldn't be worse. It couldn't be worse. And then they're like, nope, what about this?
yeah, you you want worse? We'll give it to you. We can do worse.
It's like my mind can't think of worse, and they still manage to do it. Like,
That is right now. That is the rumor. I believe it was over on Film Threat. I guess they've gotten some previews, or they know some people at Paramount who have seen some of the other episodes, and they have said that it only gets worse up through episode 10, which is the worst of the entire season. I can't even imagine how bad that is going to be.
This is going to be tough.
On top of the absolute dreck that we have gotten over the first 8 episodes, the just embarrassingly terrible storytelling, the awful acting, the embarrassing episodes that we have seen till now, that episode 10, the ultimate episode of this season, is the worst of the whole bunch. I mean, is it just them squatting in a ditch taking a crap for 45 minutes? I mean, I don't know. Is it them throwing poo at each other and smearing it on the walls? What is it that could possibly be worse than what we have seen here? I mean, again, I'm pretty certain I know how this is going to end with the season. We're going to have next week. We already know that Caleb is somehow going to be reunited with his mom. That's going to be part of the story next week. And then I'm telling you, like at the end of the season, my guess is that Caleb is going to run off with probably with his mom and with Paul Giamatti's character, and he's going to betray Starfleet to
What'll happen?
go whatever.
The ace in the hole that Paul Giamatti has is that he's been working with Caleb's mother all along, and that even though at the time it looked like she was angry at him and he left and he whatever, now they're in cahoots and he helped her escape, and now they're like, they're a couple or some shit like that. And then she's gonna be like, Caleb, you have to join us. Like, don't work with the academy. Like, and then he'll leave to be like, you said this. You said that he'll leave like to join Giamatti, but I think he'll leave to join Giamatti because the mother is with Giamatti.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I'm guessing that they're going to be working together, and so
Right. So, yeah,
he's
so
going
you
to
guessed
go
this
with
from
them.
early on, and I agree with you. It's
Yeah,
100% what's
he's going to
happening.
leave. But then when we come back for season 2, we're going to find out that he didn't really leave Starfleet behind. He was on a secret mission, because they send cadets on secret missions, right? He was on a secret mission for Starfleet to infiltrate Paul Giamatti's crew or whatever, so so that they could get them arrested or whatever, and then he's going to have to make up with all his Starfleet buddies to tell them, no, I had to do it. It was, I had to make sure he was brought to justice and whatever. Yeah, so I had to go undercover, and I'm sorry if I had to be harsh with you or whatever. It's just it's so formulaic. I don't see any other way for them to do it, right? To tell, this
You're
story.
probably
I feel
right,
like
yeah.
it just has to be that way, but we will see. It's going to be really, really bad. It's going to be so dumb.
Yes. Well, we'll continue to cover it here because that's what we do here on the Night Owl. We have a $20 Rumble rant. Born
Ah,
to be Down. I really enjoy your podcast. The SO2 episode was especially hilarious. Really great, clever banter. You guys rock. SO2
well, we
episode, which
appreciate that. State of the Union.
okay. Sorry, I was trying to think what Star Trek is SO2, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, State of the Union. Thank you. That was
We appreciate that. Born
we
to be Down.
appreciate
Thank
it
you.
very much. Thank you for the Rumble rant.
Us just hanging out here late at night talking about whatever the hell it is we're talking about, and we're glad that people enjoy showing up here listening
We
to
enjoy
us
that
just
as
talk
well.
about
What did
whatever
we
the
even talk about in the State of the Union one? What
Oh,
was
I mean,
good that
we were all
that-
over the place, but yeah, we talked quite a bit about State of the Union and
what
different discussions that we were having, the how the Democrats were acting during that, and everything else. Yeah,
the biggest takeaway from that stream is that lady, the spam burger lady. That is
yeah,
the most annoying lady I've ever heard in my life. I didn't even know what she was saying. She started talking, and I'm like, I can't listen to this lady anymore.
yeah, yeah. Well, that is Starfleet Academy for this week, everybody. God, I'm ready to start talking about something else. What other stuff do we want to talk about tonight, Bryce?
What was on our
We've been doing
docket?
this for we've been doing this for what, an hour and 15 minutes?
You know
or
what?
more,
It's important and people are enjoying it. What else have we got? We got
hour and 45 minutes. Good Lord.
let's see what else we got here. We have JD Vance versus DEMS. What was I even talking about? How do we get to JD Vance?
JD Vance. Well,
JD
I mean,
Vance.
I know he's
I think
definitely, let's see.
he went and he
what,
did a speech today somewhere. I think he started going like, talking about the Democrats, but I don't really remember. It's been such a long day. I think I saw some clips and now I'm blanking on what he was saying. He was giving a speech and talking about them. So let me see if I can find something. JD Vance, DEMS.
Let's see. I've got one thing here I could share. That's the wrong button. Here's one clip here.
I just want you to know
Okay.
that every single day I go to work, and every single day Donald J. Trump goes to work, and we fight for the American dream for you and your family, however you define it. We would really appreciate you not sending us a bunch of crazy Democrats in November. So please don't do that. God bless you all. Thank you.
That's how he finished up his little talk there when he was finishing
How
up.
did they
taking
respond?
questions.
I couldn't hear. Do you think they liked it or were they?
A lot of you could hear people laughing and clapping in the audience there. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
So I knew there was something that he said today.
He did have some other comments. Let's see. Here's another one. This was posted.
When the Democrats talk about affordability, you heard the president talk about this in the State of the Union address. Hearing the Democrats talk about affordability is like hearing an arsonist complain about fire. It's your fault. You guys left us a country with sky-high inflation. You all left us a country where we were going everywhere but America for energy. You left us a United States of America where the average family was $3,000 poorer. So our attitude is, you know what? When you talk about affordability, you're exactly right. You caused an affordability problem, congressional Democrats, and we are here to fix it. When the Democrats talk about...
There was also something else. Let me see if I can find it. Maybe this thing here.
Sure.
Okay. Maybe this is from the night before. I just want to see what this is. It could be redundant, but let's see.
Well, I saw a couple. Well, I saw a couple of things, Bill. First of all, obviously, most Democrats didn't stand up or clap. And what a shame that is. What a sad commentary that is on the Democratic Party, that the idea that the American government should stand for American citizens, not illegal aliens, that shouldn't be controversial, but apparently it was to the Democrats. But I will say, Bill, something that I saw that probably most TV viewers didn't see was really the cowardice, because there were a few Democrats who sort of politely clapped. They didn't want to stand up. I guess maybe they were worried about being primaried by the far left fringe of their party, but they were all looking around. They weren't actually saying, you know what, I'm going to stand and support this because this is a common sense, obvious statement. They were all looking around for cues from their colleagues because they didn't have the courage to stand on their own. And that, more than anything, Bill, is the saddest commentary on the Democratic Party, that not only will they not stand for the idea that Americans should come first, they won't even have the courage of their convictions. They lean on the person to their left and their right rather than actually have some conviction. That is unfortunately what's true about Democrats in Washington today.
Well, it is being talked about a lot of how many Democrats chose not to go last night. Senator Fetterman, a Democrat from Pennsylvania, last hour.
Yeah, I mean, we were saying this the other day, that I think that them acting this way, it shows that they're kind of sore losers more than anything else. The fact that they don't even show up to the address and all that, I think they're losers. You know what I mean? Like, at least show up. Like, it's just, you can't even show up. It's just, I don't know. I don't know what I think about it.
Yeah. It so far it really seems like this has not been good for them. They did you see any of the alternative State of the Union address, Price?
With Spamberger?
No.
There
They
was
had
another one?
there's one that's hosted. There's one of journalistic organization, I can't remember. They host something called the State of the Swamp, and they had of course because the Democrats, they in bed with the journalists, so they hosted this thing, and it was one of the most embarrassing things I have ever seen.
If you have
Absolutely
a clip, I'm willing to look
laughable.
at it. I didn't see any
let me
part of
see
it.
if I can find it. This is I can show you this. This is not the whole thing. Here's one clip from it. So this was James Woods posted this. This is from their supposedly serious response to the president's address.
Over us being ourselves. Over me singing songs like, "Hey, Mr. Tangerine Man, get rid of brown people for me. I'm Aryan white. There ain't no place I'm going to." And then all of a sudden, he's not ready for primetime player ICE agents with 2 weeks of training come after me. I got arrested in Portland. I got arrested in Minneapolis in the last 3 weeks twice.
You get this ridiculous man running around in a giraffe costume.
It's not even funny. Like, the thing is that sometimes there could be situations in theory that somebody will laugh at me or at anybody else, and at least there's humor there. But this isn't funny. This is just like weird cringe. I don't think
And
anybody
then-
looks at it and finds it funny. It's cringe. You know what I'm saying?
And then they had let's see if I can get the audio working.
Now, we're giving out prizes.
Please welcome to the stage Senator from Oregon, Ron Wyden, and the Portland Frogs.
This is unintentionally funny. This isn't funny because it's funny. It's just lame.
Good evening, friends, and especially our four-legged heroes from my hometown, the pride of Portland, Oregon.
Seriously. You have the president who is honoring military service members. You have the president who is bringing up people who have been victims of crimes in our country, talking about the issues that we have with crime and illegal immigration and its cost to our nation. You have the president who's talking about Irina Zarutska, the crime problem that led to her death, as his mother there, honoring her. The Democrats won't stand for her because they're assholes who think that it's every black man's right to murder a white man, frankly, or a white woman. But anyway, they're going through, all this. And here we've got these massively unserious morons who were out here talking about, hey, I got arrested my eyes 3 times last week, and dancing around in a giraffe costume. And then they have an actual sitting senator who stands up in front of these people and is backed by people in frog costumes. What the hell?
It's surreal, and this is just bizarre, actually.
They were in an interview. I could see if I could find it, but there was an interview with John Fetterman where they were asking him about the situation and the people not standing and stuff like that, and asking him about this situation. And basically, he came out and said, I don't really know that having men in giraffe costumes and frog costumes really helps our cause. I never would have guessed that John Fetterman was going to be as based as he is. I'll be honest with you. There's a lot of stuff where me and John Fetterman are not going to agree on policy and various different stuff, but the fact that literally he's the only Democrat that will listen to common sense out of their entire party, he is the only one left who will sit there and say, no, that was probably stupid. Right. Why the hell did you do that? Maybe you should have stood up when we were honoring a woman who lost her daughter to violence in North Carolina. Maybe it would have been a good idea to stand up and say, yes, we do put Americans before illegal immigrants. Perhaps that would have been a good idea. But no, instead, there's this deeply unserious, ridiculous, stupidity of them going out here dancing around with people in frog costumes and whatnot. Like this is what they're supposed to show us, that they should be trusted with leading our country.
It's very bizarre for sure.
Just wow. Did you find any more JD Vance stuff that you wanted to show?
Let me see if I can find anything else. If not, maybe we'll move on. I just saw that he was saying I saw a few clips and I thought it was interesting, but I don't know if there's more. Let me see. Wait, maybe this. Let's try this one. Probably was a good speech. Let me see.
So to the left, my left, is all of the Republicans, okay, because I'm sitting right behind the president. And to my right is some Republicans, but mostly the Democrats. And so I see the reaction of all the congressional Democrats, and it's one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. So you say, for example, you had this beautiful little girl, had such a sweet moment with her dad. You may have remembered. She was probably 6 years old. She had been assaulted by an illegal immigrant. She had a very bad, I think, medical prognosis, but it turned out that she was okay. This 6-year-old girl hurt by a human being who never should have been in this country in the first place, who was led into this country by Joe Biden and the Democrats, and she's hugging her dad, and she's so excited, and you can tell, and I think everybody's heart feels very, you get that warm and fuzzy feeling, and then I look over at the congressional Democrats, and they're just scowling. They cannot clap their hands for a 6-year-old who survived an attack from an illegal alien. What is that? What kind of a person can't stand up and cheer for an innocent young girl who's doing well, who's showing the entire country strength and resilience?
That's fair, yeah.
Yep. I mean, Fetterman even wore a suit to the State of the Union. That was
I was
pretty
so surprised,
impressive.
yeah. Let me see if there was anything. If there's anything. Let's see.
And then I look over the congressional Democrats.
Okay.
They love our country. They sees the mother time in a very long time in the United States of America. What is it about a political movement that sees the mother of a woman who was murdered on a bus? Her 22-year-old daughter was riding on a bus to work, was killed by a violent criminal who was let out of jail 13 times by Democrat leadership, should have never been on our streets, and then murdered an innocent girl. We recognized her mother, her strength and her character and her grief. And I think we all kind of grieve with her a little bit. And the Democrats cannot even stand up and cheer for that. Hearing the Democrats talk about affordability is like hearing an arsonist complain about fire.
I guess those are some of the highlights. Yeah. Listen, he's not saying anything wrong.
No, not at all. Yeah, here was a clip of one of the interviews with Fetterman. Unless what do you got there?
I don't know. I have.
That was one of them. Do you think they can carry? There are some people waiting in the wings in the MAGA world who would love to be the chosen ones of the Trump orbit. J.D. Vance is one of them. Marco Rubio is one of them. Do you think they can carry on the MAGA flame here?
No, but Vance, for whatever reason, scares me.
Why?
Almost more than Trump. I don't know. I just, talk about a guy who put a mask on and his face grew into it. I mean, J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio were two of the most effective critics, just like that guy, what's his name, Graham Lindsay, of Donald Trump. What frauds, what phonies. But JD is a unique fraud and phony, and he's a little more dangerous.
There are some people waiting in the wings in the MAGA.
Listen, however you feel about any of the people he mentioned, Gavin Newsom is like the biggest dum-dum. Like, I can't take anything Gavin Newsom says seriously. I feel the fact that he's even sitting and he could become a candidate, and you never know with elections what'll happen, that worries me more than anything.
Yeah. And of course, why does JD Vance scare him? Oh, well, he's changed his position a few times. Yeah. How many times have you changed positions? Yeah. I mean, we know you love to sit there with your legs crossed like a woman, but how many other times have you changed your position on things? You blow with the wind, man. You're an absolute joke of a candidate if you're going to run on a national stage. The only reason you've been able to win in California is because you cheat. It's basically the system is rigged to only elect Democrats now.
There's also a lot of people there that are just vote Democrat because that's what they vote, and they won't even think anything about it. There are people like that there, but there could be arguments regarding the census and a lot of stuff that happened there to kind of make it a very much blue state.
Absolutely. But
yeah.
What was I looking at? Oh yeah, I was going to say there's since I mentioned John Fetterman here. We can look at here. This is
you're wrong. From JD Vance can read. Yeah.
Yeah, at least JD Vance can read. Yeah, he definitely got better than a 960 on his SAT too. And he doesn't show up into a room and start talking down to them because he thinks that they might be a different skin color than he is. So he needs to try and blend in by being dumber. Yeah, good job. Yeah, they talked about him being willing to stand up and whatever. Let's just look at the video.
The rest of people in my party would stand up and clap for. I clapped with a lot of those things that it seemed like others. Like I stood up and I clapped to recognize the family that lost their daughter, the Ukrainian girl that was stabbed to death, in North Carolina. And I stood up and I clapped that political prisoner from Venezuela how you can't celebrate those kinds of things. And now I also celebrated all the veterans that were in the audience as well too, and even more the political things like Erica Kirk. I stood up and I clapped for her as well too. Now here, can't we just be more kind to a widow? I mean, we just shouldn't be that long ago that a widow, with young children, has her husband murdered. How we can't just acknowledge that as well too. Wow. Whether white people would attack her, whether the left or the right either. So I'm always going to stand up and clap for things that I agreed with in, like striking the Iranian, sites now for me. I never worry about who's standing up or clapping. If I see it, I'm going to. If I don't agree with it or whatever, I'm certainly not going to yell and scream and disrupt the whole thing.
Yeah, and there we go. That's the thing that I think a lot of people have been very upset with. One, we had a lot of Democrats who were just sitting on their hands. They refused to acknowledge anything that Trump was saying was in any way good. They refused to stand when he said, if you believe Americans, come before illegal aliens, you stand. And they sat there and with nasty looks on their faces. And then you also had the likes of Rashida Tlaib and whatever the other girl's name, the crazy one from Minnesota, yelling, "Oh, you kill people! You've killed Americans!" Whatever, just screaming and yelling at him and stuff during the speech. It was incredibly it was just a really bad look. Right? It was disruptive. Yeah. It was a bad look for them. And I don't think, Ilhan Omar. Yeah, thank you. I don't think that it went well for the Democrats at the State of the Union. I think the after effects of covering it and talking about it, that many different groups, of course, if you look at many of the left-leaning groups, they left-leaning journalism, they want to spend their time talking about oh, well, he said this and that's not correct, and he said that, and he was distorting, and he tried to make the Democrats look bad. He was attacking them from a place where they couldn't respond and whatever. And then it's like, no, this is the State of the Union speech. Oh, he's using veterans as props. Did you ever accuse a Democrat of using veterans as props when they had them there and thanked them for their service when they were there? He's using the U.S. Men's hockey team as props. No, the U.S. men's hockey team is the pride of the United States. They went out, they competed, and they won in the Olympics, despite many people thinking they never really had a chance of being the champions, bringing home the gold medal. They brought home the gold medal, and they were gracious about it. They were, just absolutely working with Donald Trump and with his administration, regardless of whatever their politics was. They were Americans first, representing our country and willing to come to the White House, willing to be part of the State of the Union and be recognized as, hey, you are representing our country. You did us proud in your performance on the world stage, and we are all proud of you. We are all, proud of what you did, and thank you for, going out and representing our country the way that you did. But they want to say, no, he's using them as props. He's using them to hold up his fascist regime and all this stuff. It's like, my God, just really, that's what you get from this. Not that any president who was president right now during the Olympics and had a gold medal winning hockey team, they would honor them and invite them to invite them to the White House, invite them to the State of the Union. Like any president who was president at the time that happened would have done exactly the same. But you would never accuse a Democrat of using them as props for his, to hold up his fascist regime. Like, you would never say that. But because it's Donald Trump, they absolutely must claim that somehow it's some sort of egregious thing for him to invite them to the State of the Union and invite them in and honor them in that space. Like, it's just so ridiculous. The level of TDS that has just completely rotted these people's brains just continues to impress me. Like, seriously. It's wild. And then have you seen some of the other stuff that's been coming out now about the hockey team price where they're apparently they went to some really fancy nightclub, some sort of luxury nightclub where they have dancers. And so they're saying that the men's hockey team, that they're gross because they went out and they celebrated at this nightclub with strippers and all this stuff. It's like, okay, nowhere have I found that there's a description of the club they went to as a gentleman's club. Yes, they have attractive women who are dancers there, but I don't see that they're strippers. And they let everyone in that club.
I've seen a lot of clubs like this. I used to be involved in some events and things like that. A lot of times, especially in Vegas and things like that, you go to an event like that and some ladies are dancing there that look nice. I mean, that happens sometimes,
but they're not strippers.
Wrong with it.
They're just entertainers. They're up there dancing, and it's just part of the entertainment. It's part of the ambiance of the club. It's a luxury, fancy club. And then inside of that club, they led everyone in singing "God Bless America" or whatever. Like, come on! Like, how is that not absolutely hilarious? How is that not amazing? You've got the hockey team there, like, leading them all in the Star Spangled Banner or God Bless America, whatever it was. Like, that's freaking hilarious. That you don't need to shame. First of all, they're grown men. If they want to go to a club, they can go to a damn club. Like, what do you care? Right? They're not in some way besmirching the name of the United States by going to with young men going to a club. It's
I don't give a shit about it. Good. They're going to a club. There are ladies there. None of this bothers me. I don't know what people want.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous that that people have been trying to say, like, oh, this looks bad for America or something, that our men are going out and partying in a club. They just hate that they were being patriotic and leading everyone in a round of God Bless America or whatever it was. Guarantee it. That irritates them more than anything. We've got a generous gift from Rod Thunderheart in the YouTube chat there, Price.
Oh, wow.
Check that out.
Okay, hold on one second. I see it right now. Thank you, Rod Thunderheart. That's very, very nice of you. I'm going to highlight it right now. Okay. So Rod Thunderheart says, "Hail, Price of Reason, Professor R2. Oh, the State of the Union speech. I'm embarrassed for you guys. Congratulations to the men and women's hockey teams. Did you see Kash Patel celebrating with them? Professor R2, you're not wrong, but women team refused to go."
The women's team, yes, they did say that they were not going to go. They wrote some letter about how it was there was a scheduling conflict or something like that, and they couldn't be there, and they didn't want to be there without the whole team. Whatever. I think that's BS. I think someone in the coaching staff or one of the managers of the team made the decision for them because of their TDS, said they weren't going to come, and then they got all kinds of backlash from people saying that's not cool. You were invited to the White House. You should go regardless of your politics. This doesn't look good. And now they've said that actually, yes, they are going to go, but they have to work out a schedule for it or something. Right. So I don't know. It's all very weird. But yeah, I did see Kash Patel partying with them, and I thought, hey, good on him.
I don't know why everybody was so upset. So what? So he went there and he went to party with them. It's like, I don't know why that's so bad. I mean, at least he's an adult. He's allowed to drink an alcoholic beverage. He's allowed to be there. If he was allowed into the room,
with the team, he's allowed to chug a beer and celebrate with a bunch of rowdy guys. I don't understand why this is a problem. But they're like, oh, well, he's supposed to be responsible for all this stuff. He wasn't on the job. He wasn't at work, right? He was there.
I didn't see anything wrong with it. It's I think people try to read into every situation that's wrong. I mean, if there was like, if he was somebody that was like a Democrat and there was a team and like he went there and he celebrated with them, I don't see that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, the Democrats generally don't like this type of patriotic stuff and they don't want to celebrate them, celebrate with them. But I'm just saying that I don't see anything wrong with it. I didn't see that he did anything like wrong. So what if he went there?
Yeah. It's and then making the whole everyone blowing the thing with the call that Donald Trump made to them, right? When he was talking to them about inviting him to the White House.
Why wouldn't he call them? He was the president. Why wouldn't he call them?
Well, but you said the controversy about the joke that he made about the women's team.
Right. He said, "Oh, we got to invite the women or something." So
yeah, he said, "I'm going to invite you to." I'm going to invite you to the White House. Of course, I'll have to invite the women's team too, or else they'll impeach me. It was a joke, not about the women. Yeah. It was not even a joke about the women's team. That's the thing that everyone is blowing this. Oh, he's disrespecting the women's team. It wasn't even a joke about the women's team. It was a joke about the insanely overreactive, environment in Washington, and especially on the left, where they just knee jerk at any little thing that he does to say, "Oh, we're going to impeach him." That was the joke. The joke was on the Democrats. It wasn't about the women's team at all. There was nothing insulting about the women's team that he said.
He was telling a joke. It's obvious.
And it wasn't even a great joke, but it was clearly, it was not a joke at the expense of the women's team.
No, I don't think so.
It was at the expense of the Democrats, whose knee-jerk reaction to anything he does is always, "Oh, let's impeach him," or "He's the worst," or "He's a Nazi," or "He's a whatever." Like that, they always go there. And of course, what did they do? They took the bait and they went there. It's just so ridiculous. So dumb. Yeah. So yeah, there's been a lot of reactions, a lot of stuff going on after the fact of what was going on at the.
I don't really understand because I see a lot of these messages. Yeah. Men playing children's games and men watching them play is kind of odd to me. You don't like sports.
Just commenting on sports. Yeah.
If you don't like sports, you don't like sports. But it's just people enjoy watching sports. I don't know. You're kind of how do I explain this? You're sort of the odd man out here. Most people enjoy watching sports, and some people like it more than others. But there's nothing wrong with men watching sports. That's just
I've never been someone who cares a lot about sports. It's just I think part of it is just like there's sort of a tribal nature to it. Like you're sort of in with this tribe, and then you're celebrating when they succeed and stuff. And I've just that's never something that has connected with me. Like being I got to be part of the tribe so I can celebrate when they win a game or whatever. Like it just. I don't know. It's never been something that's connected with me. I don't mind people who do enjoy watching sports.
Right. I mean, it's fine. Some people may like it or not, but I'm just saying that the majority of men, there's some sport that they don't hate watching, especially if they're like in a group of people. There's the majority. I'm not saying and I'm more of an artsy person. Something that I enjoy doing, like a lot of times will take precedent over sports, but there have been enough times that I've hung out, even gone to games with friends and things like that. There's a value. There's a value in sports. That's I guess what I'm saying.
Yeah. And of course, and I've, mentioned this before, like the actual, like the experience of actually going to a game and experiencing that live, like actually being part of the people in the stands watching the game and being there and everything else that sort of in that experience around it, I think it's pretty enjoyable. I've had some great times at games, even if I wasn't really all that interested in the game itself, right? There's something else going on. There's an environment there. There's an experience there that's really unique, and it's a lot of fun, as opposed to just sitting back and watching
Says used to
sports on
watch sports
TV.
while I worked in the corporate world because one of the safest things to talk about. That's fine. And then
It's true.
Strugan says, I used to watch sport until they all bent the knee for St. George and went full retard. Yeah, that was kind of annoying. I never liked that they turned those sports into very political stuff. I think that sports should be something that's kind of for everybody to enjoy, not to. I don't like all the political positions they've taken in more recent years because I don't think that helps anything or anybody.
Yeah, agreed. Oh, let's see. How did we get here, Price?
Well, I don't know, but I wanted to say that Rod Thunderheart, I wanted to highlight that he also has a book. I don't know if you're familiar
See
with
Through
it.
Love.
This is Rod Thunderheart's book, and you should check it out. I haven't had time, but I intend to find a moment to read this thing. Do you know how many pages it is? I'm a terrible reader. How many pages is it, Rod, if you're still around?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
I'm
Rod
like
would
the
have to
people
tell
on
you.
Starfleet Academy. It has to be a pop-up book.
It has to be a pop-up
If it's a pop-up book like on Starfleet, then I'm going to read it quickly. And yeah, I mean, I agree with you regarding this thing. One thing that annoys me until today is that whole like Colin Kaepernick thing. He's like, I can't believe it. I kept kneeling during the anthem, and then like they didn't want to work with me anymore. Yeah, because they have sponsors, and you're an idiot. Like until today, he doesn't understand. He's like, oh, like I did all this stuff. Why? Because when you're paid to be somewhere and you're on the job, you're not supposed to do shit that annoys people. I don't know if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I was busy looking up Rod's book here.
How many
about
pages?
buying a copy for myself here. I don't see how many pages. Oh, it says print length 448 pages. So this isn't some little
448?
Yeah, this is not some
serious business here, Rod.
Little manga or something like that. This is
I was hoping it was the manga, but no, nothing. I mean, if it's 448 pages, I assume that a lot of thought and work has been put into it. But then it would just take me more time to read it. It does sound cool, though, the idea of it.
You know what? I bet if you picked it up, Price, it would be a real page turner, and you would tear through that book in no time flat. That's what I think.
Well, we'll have to put that to the test sometime. But
thank you so much for your support, Rod. We really do appreciate it.
We do appreciate
it. Yeah, you're a big boost. You've been a big booster of this channel, and I love seeing you on all the other channels where you're contributing. So we appreciate it, Rod.
Script Doctor, he sometimes invites me to to co-host on his show. And usually, I mean, if you do that, you have to read a script. And there have been a few times where somebody, let's say, canceled, or he had a canceled in the sense of like he had a co-host that suddenly got sick or something like that, and then kind of in the last minute, he'd be like, hey, this person's sick, can you step in? And then very quickly, I would have to read sometimes like 110, 120 page script. And then I work very quickly to actually make myself knowledgeable by the time that show goes on the air. But 448 pages in a book, that's a more serious, you kind of need to put aside a little time for that. Based on the synopsis, though, it looks like something I would enjoy, and I will do my best to find like a window of time where I can properly give it the attention it deserves, because I want to read the book. That's just my 2 cents. What else did we have on
Yeah.
our docket, Professor?
Well, we have another message from Rod Thunderheart. You may want to go ahead and pull up.
Oh, wow. Hold on one second. Okay. This is serious business, Rod. Okay. All right. Well, we have this one. Well, they just won gold. Why they both celebrate? Why shame the men? You guys are not wrong. With them going to the White House, I'm sorry I respectfully disagree because with an authoritarian killing and jailing people, remember silence is approval. It's 438 pages. Okay, so a lot to unpack here. Well, first of all, thank you for the $100. I appreciate it very much. Well, they just won gold. Why they both celebrate? Why shame the men?
Yeah, they should both celebrate. Yes, absolutely. They both won gold. They should both celebrate. They should both be invited to the White House. They should both accept. They should put politics aside and be willing to come and be honored by the White House. That's the point is not the politics of it. The point is that you're basically national heroes. Yeah, the same happens with tons of other teams. Whoever wins the Super Bowl, whoever wins the college football championship that year, whoever wins the women's basketball, like all of these different teams, they get invited to the White House, and the idea is, hey, we're going to honor you for the accomplishment that you have made. So again, whatever the politics are of these people, I'm fine if they talk about that outside of the situation of visiting the White House. Honestly, if they want to protest and say, no, we're not coming, well, that's their choice. My problem is that it seems like it was not the team that decided to do this. It seems like it was the coaches. It was the people running the team who decided on behalf of the team, none of them would go. When I'm assuming there's probably some players who would happily accept that, you know what I mean? They would accept the invitation to the White House. I don't know. As to whether you believe that it is an authoritarian regime killing and jailing people, okay. That's fine. You're welcome to have that opinion. I don't know what to say other than I respectfully disagree about that. But everyone's entitled to their own opinion. The point is we all have to be respectful and have respectful discussions about it. So yeah,
that's for sure. Yeah, and but silence is approval. I kind of did. So the first thing, I understand they won the gold. They should celebrate. I agree. Okay. You're saying that it's not good that they're going to the White House, I guess. This is what as somebody that's sort of a middle of the road person, this is the way I see it. It's not that like I wake up in the morning and like I love all this stuff that's happening, even when it comes to how do I explain this? There are people that like when they see these kind of ice videos and stuff, they get very excited and everybody's super happy. I don't get super happy. I am sad that in this country we're in the situation that so many millions of people were let in a short amount of time, and I think that that's caused real issues. And I wish, and I say this as somebody, I'm not like hard right or left or anything really. I wish that there was a really pleasant and nice way to solve this problem, but I don't know that there is. It's a very difficult situation, and it's one that, however one feels about Trump, I consider like Biden the person that created the biggest problem here. Uh, and I've said it before. It's not. I don't have posters of Trump on my wall. It's not that all day I sit and I say how much like like he's the best thing that ever happened to me. I will say that like that problem with letting in everybody at the border is a really big issue. And when you're trying to fix a problem like that, I don't think that the fix is ever going to be something that everybody's happy with. It's the best I can describe it, I guess. But I don't know. I mean, at the same time, it's also not a problem you can ignore. So it's sort of like a lose-lose situation in a way, if that makes sense.
Yeah. We have two more from Rod Thunderheart. The hits just keep on coming. They're smaller than the $100 one, so don't need to have a heart attack. But we have two more super chats from Rod.
It's okay. I gave my honest opinion too. I mean, we
No,
all
and I
have
appreciate that.
different
And
opinions.
and like I said, Rod's happy. I'm happy to have Rod give his opinion. How he feels about the administration and actions they've taken. Again, the point is, respectful disagreement, respectful discussion of issues. If you and I were disagreeing on something, Price, that would be. I'm not gonna rage quit the show or anything like that. It's all about just being able to rationally and calmly
Right, I said the
just
thing with the moon,
have
and
discussion.
I know you didn't like my theory about the moon, and until today, like we're still
again,
friends, even if you
that's-
don't like my theory about the moon.
That civil discussion is something that we've just lost over the last 15 to 20 years is when it's really just completely disappeared from the political sphere. It's gone so completely down this road of it's either my way or the highway. You're either with me or against me. This just complete and total. There's the radicalization in some cases, there's polarization in others. They kind of go hand in hand. You just see a lot of this, and it's very, very frustrating because no one is allowed to have like real discussion. That was supposed to be the whole point of having something like the Senate is that they would actually talk about issues, work through these issues, find common ground, find a way to create rules, create laws, and then pass them that were going to be beneficial. There was going to have to be compromise, but it was going to be widely beneficial for everybody. And it was necessary to have people with a conservative view and people with a progressive view as part of making those rules. There's people there who are to help protect the institutions we have now. There are people to push us forward and to find new solutions, new ways of doing things. And that's ideal. We want that. But we haven't had that in a long time. Now all we get is people who get elected to office on both sides, people who get elected as Democrats, people who get elected as Republicans, and their first job on stepping into their role in the House or the Senate is to start thinking about how they're going to get reelected when their term's over, and to start thinking about how they can use their power to in some way enrich themselves. Like literally, it happens on both sides. It happens with a ton of these people who are elected. They're no longer focused on actually finding solutions. All they want to make sure is that when they're there, they can get wealthy and they can make sure to get reelected. That's their only job. And it's quite frustrating.
I want to look at Rod Thunderheart's additional messages. So for $20, you wrote, See Through Love is a romance, martial arts, sci-fi comedy drama, and spy thriller. A Spanish teacher who can become invisible falls for the new gym teacher who is blind, but can see her when invisible. Mexican Iron Man read it. Mexican Iron Man is a good friend of mine. The only thing I regret is that I don't see him a lot these days. He used to be a lot online. He took some kind of a step back. He does have stuff happening in his personal life, not bad stuff, but just other responsibilities and commitments. He's more focused on that. From time to time, I still get a chance to exchange a few words with him. And man, You know, he's hasn't been on the Night Owl, but I will say that when I started doing streams relatively early on, or at least in the earlier days, I needed to do a stream. And last minute, there's one incident that I remember. There's one situation that I remember that he hopped on and we did a stream together, and it was so much fun. I really really like Mikey, and he's a great guy. So just want to put that out there. Rod Thunderheart says, "No worries, we can agree to disagree. But why go to the White House for McDonald's? I don't know. He likes hamburgers. That's just his thing. Was it McDonald's though, or was it just burgers? Regardless, I don't even know.
I don't know. He does have a thing for McDonald's. I really it makes me laugh so much. First of all, this guy is so wealthy, and yet he's eating the most garbage of foods. I do not go to McDonald's. My family will occasionally, they're like, hey, let's stop at McDonald's. And I'm like, I will eat later. I am not eating this filth at McDonald's. There are only a few occasions, like literally, like if we are on a road trip and the only option we have for any kind of sustenance is we have to stop at McDonald's, I will grudgingly have a burger or have some nuggets or something. But it is just the most garbage of food. And like that's what Donald Trump likes, and that's what he serves to people. Like,
I don't understand it either, to be honest. I mean, but if that's what he likes, that's what he likes. I don't know. It's very odd, but yeah.
And then of course he's got his health secretary. He's got Kennedy in there, who's like doing this huge movement to try and like push all of these fake, overly processed foods get that out of our diets, get that out of our lives, because that is what is making us sick. It's not that you're eating too many carbs, it's not that you're eating too much fat, it's that you're eating a whole bunch of these overly processed food that are packed full of sugar and salts and all of these other chemicals and things to make them shelf stable and to be able to cook them quickly. You're getting on the seed oils and everything that we're learning about those, especially seed oils that have been used in fryers that have been heated and reheated over and over, and all the terrible stuff that's being created, all the toxic stuff that's being created by that. We have this guy who's out there championing this underneath Donald Trump, and yet Donald Trump is out there eating this horrible food. It just, there's just some hilarious connection there that just kills me. Yeah, and yeah, we're here come the NFL, the winners of the Super Bowl, or here come gold medalist hockey team, and what are we going to serve them? Burgers and fries.
They seem to eat it. I mean, when he gives it to them, they just eat it. But I will say this. I mean, as a kid, I really liked Big Mac. Honestly, I can't remember the last time I ate McDonald's. Like, if now I think that I'm at a point that maybe like once a year, at most. I don't know. I'll maybe like for some reason, maybe there's like a nostalgic element or something. Maybe like I'll go there once, but I think it's to Phobos and a few other people said it's not even cheap these days. It's expensive.
All food is.
All food is, and really, if you're already going to like fast food, there's much better fast food than McDonald's. That's another truth. Like if it's already expensive, I think that for the money that McDonald's charges, there's a lot of different options that are probably more worth it than McDonald's.
Way better options.
Yeah.
Way better options.
Totally.
If it's like, oh, we have to stop for a fast food burger, I'll take like a Sonic. I'll take that over McDonald's. If I really need to, a Burger King, I guess. I haven't been to a Burger King in forever.
No, I don't go to any of these places a lot.
Wendy's, if I have to, but yeah,
I
like
think
McDonald's,
probably Wendy's would be like preferable to those other ones. But if you don't want to know what I think Chick-fil-A is probably better than all these things that you just mentioned.
Hell yeah. Yeah. I'll take some
That
Chick-fil-A.
one is one that's genuinely like pretty decent. I don't know how, but it is.
Yeah. They changed their frying medium recently, and their fries weren't as good, but they adjusted the timing and the recipe of that a little bit, and they've gotten better. But love Chick-fil-A, and Rod Thunderheart says Five Guys. Well, yeah, Five Guys is awesome. Actually, the truth is, I don't really love Five Guys burgers all that much, but I love their fries. Amazing. Like those fresh cut, fresh made French fries. Oh, so good. I will sometimes just stop at Five Guys and get a thing of French fries because they're that good.
I'll tell you what, I actually like, everything at Five Guys, but there's one thing that I remember that this already happened a few years ago, and I just got like I stopped by and I got like a burger and fries, and by the time and it wasn't anything big. It seemed like I was getting nothing. I don't know if I got burger and fries and a drink or whatever it is. I ended up paying over $20.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, man, that is a lot of money for something that I still consider sort of fast food. For 20 something dollars, I feel like I could already go sit down and eat something. I'm not saying I know restaurants are more expensive, and I'm not saying that anywhere in the world you could sit with 20 something dollars and eat something, but for just grabbing a burger at something that's still fast food, over $20 really, I don't know. It's caused me to go less to Five Guys. That's the truth.
Yeah. Rod says he loves their poutine. They do poutine at Five Guys in Canada.
I don't even know what he's talking about. I've never seen this.
Well, I would imagine it's only in Canada. They don't do the poutine here in the U.S. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
By the way, Rod, I'll tell you. Say what you want about Canada. Poutine's delicious. I like poutine.
I don't even know that I've been to Canada a number of times. I don't think I ever tried that.
I've not actually had it. I've not been to Canada and had it in Canada, but I had a friend who was, Canadian, and their family was from Canada, and they had poutine. I tried that, and I was like, oh wow, this is great. Like fries with gravy on it and cheese. Yeah, cheese. Oh yeah. Okay, I'll do it. Sounds good.
Yeah, poutine. It sounds like something naughty. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, they serve that at Five Guys? Wow.
Oh.
It's funny because they're Five Guys and they like that. It all sounded very naughty.
Getting some poutine.
Right. It sounded like Alex Kurtzman was making No, he wouldn't make that. He would make that the woman would feed. It's not the kind of show Kurtzman would make. It's like reverse Kurtzman. Never mind. So there's a few other things. First of all, I don't know if you saw this. I know we talked about it briefly, but I will say this. This Grace Randolph lady, she's always such a weirdo. And today, I don't know, she now keeps putting her foot in her mouth. There was some clip today that I saw that she was saying that she was hoping that the movie about the guy with Tourette's wouldn't be shown at the same time as Michael Jackson's biopic in theaters because it shouldn't be competing with that. And it's like because of how he behaved. But again, I mean, I understand it's a strange situation that the guy has Tourette's and said the things that he says. It's not supposed to be funny. Somehow, like we were talking about, it's a strange woke implosion situation between all these wokesters and him sitting there and doing that. It comes out like, it only exposes their hypocrisy, really. But at the same time, like Grace Randolph babbling today about that Michael Jackson movie, like, I don't even understand what she wants. For starters, Michael Jackson is going to demolish the other guy with the Tourette's movie. I don't think people are going to swarm to see some Tourette's documentary versus a biopic about Michael Jackson. That biopic about Michael Jackson, if it's not a complete disaster, if it's at least halfway decent, is probably going to make a good amount of money.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a clip here of her if we want to watch it.
Okay, let's look at it.
Of her talking about this.
I was also extremely, extremely concerned, okay, to see that I Swear has been set to open opposite the Michael Jackson movie. I hope that Sony Pictures Classics, who is releasing this movie, considers moving the film. I would hope. I think that I Swear wants to come from a place of positivity. And I think that it is getting very quickly co-opted by people who are not in that headspace. I was also extremely, extremely concerned.
So, yeah, I have no idea what she's going on about. I really.
I mean, she always seems like some kooky weirdo to me, but I mean, I don't know. I don't I don't like piling on people, and it's not that I enjoy I don't go out of my way to attack her or anything like that. But she's had some strange takes about this thing since it happened, and it's not really getting any better. I think it probably would have been better for her not to talk about this issue at all, because anytime she's been talking about it, she sounds kind of dumb, if we're being honest.
Hey, somebody named Price of Reason is doing a live stream about the same topics we. Oh, sorry.
It's me. And then
It's me.
we went over Star Trek. We went over the JD Vance thing. We talked about Grace Randolph now.
Yeah.
a
Oh,
little bit.
jeez. Yeah, Grace Randolph, man. What a.
She's just such a weirdo. But
She
there
is.
is something that we haven't talked about that actually this is a good thing to kind of wrap it up. Paramount apparently, has managed
Oh,
to get rid of
yes.
Netflix. Netflix are out.
Well, they've got 4 days. They've got 4 days to respond to the latest offer, as Paramount earlier today did officially say that yes, the bid WB said earlier today that officially that the Paramount bid is quote unquote superior, and so now that is the leading bid for for the buying of Warner Brothers. So yeah, Netflix has 4 days in which to respond with a newer, better offer if they have one. If not, then this would be a win for Paramount.
Well,
So
here,
yeah,
Netflix on Thursday withdrew its offer to buy Warner Brothers.
Oh, well, I had not seen that.
This
That must have
has happened
happened later
past few hours.
today. Yeah, that must
This
have
is in
happened
the
later
past few
today.
hours. Netflix has backed away.
All right.
Paramount is the winner.
Oh, here I've got the Deadline article here. If you want to look at that
Okay.
one. So yeah, that's all, folks. So this was at 2:55 p.m. So yeah, I saw the news earlier this morning about the superior bid. I had not seen anything new about it, but yeah, this is Netflix walks away. Netflix is thrown in the towel and won't be raising its offer for Warner Brothers to match a rival bid. Game-changing news that caps several days of action around the bidding war. The move comes 2 hours after Warner Brothers Discovery said it determined the latest offer it received from Paramount was superior to the $82.7 billion deal it had signed with Netflix in December. Netflix still had 4 business days to match Paramount's offer, but decided, why wait? Co-CEOs Ted Sarandos and Greg Peters regretfully took the company out of the running, saying, "We've always been disciplined, and at the price required to match Paramount Skydance's latest offer, the deal is no longer financially attractive." It doesn't hurt that they just get to walk away with $2.8 billion in the breakup
I mean, they
fee.
get to walk away with $2.8 billion, but there's a few
For
things that
nothing.
happen.
They got nothing.
First of all, ever since this whole thing started with Netflix, their stock significantly went down.
Yes.
That's one thing. The other thing is, part of it could be reasons that have to do with the market. Part of this it also wasn't good. This whole move wasn't good. But at the same time, there could have been another end game here. At the end, Netflix saw a major rival and competitor brewing, building up, and they forced these competitors now to spend way more than they ever wanted to spend. And it's a lot of money that Paramount had to increase. I don't think that they would have gone and increased so much without Netflix and the role that they played here. So in a way, they're draining their funds. I don't know necessarily if this was like a 4D chess situation with Netflix. There's also a little bit of it's a little bit embarrassing that you were like sure that you're doing all of this and at the end you have to walk away. It's not that great, but at the same time, you know, they've tied up their chief competitor here in a lot of financial responsibilities. So something came out of it for them, something in some odd way. Time will tell if this is going to end up being something that, you know, is well handled by Paramount, or it's going to be some stupid thing. But we'll see. And the one thing I'll say is that it probably, I don't know. This is just my impression. I don't know that tomorrow morning anything's going to happen to James Gunn, but I think that if he had like sort of a long term prospects of about staying here, I don't know how long term they're going to be. And I've said this before to you that given that the Saudis invested money and they really like Zack Snyder, which is really true, they really do like him, we may even see some kind of return. I'm not saying a million movies, but if suddenly there was like one movie at some point that Zack Snyder does, I wouldn't be shocked. Although it's probably not going to be tomorrow because they're not going to stop the wheels moving forward on on as long as the Batman 2 is pushing along in production, as long as it starts filming or does whatever it's supposed to do. I don't think that they're going to meddle with that. I think they're also going to let James Gunn, even if they like him or don't like him, they'll let him finish his, whatever, Supergirl, Lanterns, and Man of Tomorrow. So I don't think that any kind of replacement there will be overnight. But I do think that this could impact DC moving forward in some way. I would be very surprised if beyond James Gunn's contract that ends in like spring 2027, I would kind of be surprised if they want to continue to work with him unless there's some kind of fluke and he makes like $1 billion at the box office on Supergirl or something. I don't think it's looking good for Gunn in the long term.
Nope. I don't think it looks good. Not for him. I wonder how many other things might change too. You know, I was thinking about this, like if this does get bought out, if the Ellisons are in charge of things, like are there any other projects that they're gonna want to can or change or force change in? Like, are they gonna be cool with the new woke Harry Potter? They gonna be interested in that, or are they gonna want to end that? They're going to be other things maybe that are being produced under HBO or whatever that they're going to stick their fingers in, and I don't know. It's interesting.
I mean, listen, until now, if it's any sign, they didn't torpedo Starfleet Academy. They let that move forward. Now I understand. I'm sure that they already were filming and working on this before Paramount even, Skydance took over Paramount. But at the end of the day, it's here, it's on the air. So it seems like if nothing else, whatever productions there are, woke or not, they're going to let them just complete and do whatever they do. Maybe moving forward, they'll find a way to replace everybody. For me, a big test, because this one is soon, a big test is what's going to happen if with Alex Kurtzman. If Alex Kurtzman within the next few months comes up for renewal and they renew his contract, I have no faith in them whatsoever. Like, I have no faith that they're going to make even one half-decent decision. If they, in a few months, it turns out that Alex Kurtzman is gone, I'll then maybe get a feeling that they're here to make a change.
Yep. This is going to be interesting now that, because there's been so much talk about what Netflix was going to do and how this was all going to work. And now clearly we now have a totally different bidder. They've upped this offer as much as they have, and to the point that now Netflix has walked away. So now we got to start thinking about what's this going to look like. How long is this going to take for the how long is this going to take for the regulatory approvals and such, so that this merger can move forward, right? So.
Yeah, I mean, this is all going to be very interesting to see how it plays out. In a way, I honestly think that Netflix didn't need this headache to begin with. I don't know if in the long run, maybe it'll make them look bad, or maybe, like I said, they managed to somehow maneuver their biggest competitor into a lot of spending that may end up like, kind of biting them in the ass. We'll see what happens with it. Certainly, it's interesting, and it'll be interesting to see how things develop. But yeah, that's where we're at now. And this is all really kind of developing news, from today. We'll have to see. We'll learn more, in the next days and weeks and months. We'll learn more. But yeah, I mean, I still am not convinced that these Ellisons can do something good. We'll have to see.
Yes, that is definitely. I mean, obviously, it's going to take a little while for everything to everything to work its way through regulatory stuff and all of that. I was seeing today earlier, someone was talking about Paramount and Warner Brothers coming together under Skydance, and now all of the things that are going to be owned by by Paramount. It's kind of amazing when you think about it. Like, under the same roof, under the same thing, you're going to have DC Studios, HBO, CNN, TNT, TBS, Comedy Central, Paramount. You're going to have CW. You're going to have BET, you have Cartoon Network, Animal Planet, like all of these companies and channels that have been out there for a long time. Of course, then you have also things like Discovery and Showtime and so on, all going to be included all under this one roof. Major franchises all going to be controlled by one giant company. You're going to have all the DC characters. So Superman, Batman, Flash, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Shazam, like all of those, Joker and Harley Quinn, Aquaman. You're going to have, other things like Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings and Mission Impossible and the Game of Thrones and what was some it shows and franchise, like all of that's going to be owned under the same roof, like along with other weird things that may have a future to them, may not, like the Sonic films and Top Gun and Mortal Kombat, right? Like all of that's going to belong to one studio now, which is kind of amazing. Also not great as far as I'm concerned. I still would have preferred more studios and more competition, but doesn't seem like it's meant to be.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's probably not good for the industry in general, but it'll be interesting still to see how it plays out. Definitely, there's going to be some interesting stories in coming months, so we'll have to keep monitoring that. I already noticed that people are going to some, older videos of mine on my other channel that they're like, "Oh, you were right. You said this and you said that." I don't even remember what I was right about, but I'll have to take a look at that. I will say this, that I said for a while that Netflix will have a real uphill battle to get this deal done. In general, even if, let's say, Paramount would have backed off and you just had Netflix doing this, they would have still had found themselves in a very tricky situation. So the whole reason that, the whole thing of them even trying to buy Warner Brothers kind of surprised me. And I still can't help but thinking that it was more for trying to sabotage what Paramount was trying to do, more than actually really wanting Warner Brothers on the side of Netflix. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. In any case, Professor, is there anything you want to plug before we go?
Well, of course, we hope that everyone here tonight make sure that you like and subscribe if you have not already. We'd appreciate that. We want to have you back here with us again on Tuesday next week for the Night Owl, where we'll find more crazy stuff to talk about. I bet we'll be talking more about Warner Brothers and everything that's going on with that acquisition there. I'm sure there'll be some more news, but also tomorrow night I will be over on B-roll stage on both Rumble and on YouTube, although Rumble is really sort of the official home now of B-roll stage and B-sides on Friday evenings. It's Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern. And then it sounds like maybe Robothead was not able to do his show today because there were some technical issues, some internet issues on his end. Yeah, so he's probably going to try and do something on Sunday, like a makeup show sometime on Sunday. I have no timing for that whatsoever. Typically, I'll be on the Mr. Brown Alliance, joining him for the Sunday musings on Saturday afternoon. Perhaps I'll also be hopping on and joining Price, joining Robothead, potentially, on that day, if I'm available. So
that would be cool.
Yeah. We will just have to wait and see. I don't know what the timing of that is. He hasn't said anything so far. I will say one thing, Price. Right now the early reviews are starting to come out for Project Hail Mary, and they have all been very, very complimentary of the film. I am excited. If you get to see Hail Mary early, I don't want to hear about it.
All right.
I want to stay excited.
All right.
until I get to see it, and then I will make my own decision.
Did I give you the impression that I don't get excited about movies for festive?
No, I'm just saying I want to see it. I'm not going to read any reviews from anybody. All I've seen is a few early social media impressions from people that have been
when does
pretty
it come
positive. So that is due out the second week of March. So yeah, that's on the I guess it's the third week of March. So that'll be on the 19th, 20th will be when that premieres. So I have my tickets to go see that on Thursday afternoon, the 19th. So yeah, definitely want to talk about it on the show that night after I've gotten a chance to see it.
All right. Well, we'll do a nice stream about it after we both see it.
Yeah. All right. That's it for me tonight, man. Thanks you all. Thank everybody for showing up. Let's say some thank yous to everybody here. Let me get you our list from Rumble.
So from Rumble, we have Darren Mai, Elizabeth Quince, Kivo 1961. Thank you for the Rumble rant. K Burton 1, Double R Star is to Phobos, Deeple 101, Angelo DD, Born to Be Down. Also sent a super chat. Thank you. Sorry, Rumble rant. Apologize, but you know what I meant.
Yeah.
Pyromancer, You Wrong, and Reveal X1 2022.
Yeah, thank you all.
See you next week, Elizabeth.
Tonight. Yeah. Let's see. We have over on YouTube, Namogel 67, Samsung, Jim Noxious, I Tell a Merchant 1879, Zune RJ5, FKHC 2005. T-Bomb 322, Giant Sabo 9152, Inku, Glade Raven, Jonathan Conroy, Marla Sharondoff, Adrian Veit, Shanonk 3909, Greg Williams, Ron Donafero, Yitis, Mary White, Amplify 85, Keely Chow, iLord Corey, Mur Rockstro, The Real Head Case, Call Me Jeff, Not Jeffrey, Darren M, Something I Can't Pronounce That Appears to Be in Hebrew, Caleb Levine, Strugun, Badfoot, Phantom Outsider. I think the Hebrew name said George was his name. Could be wrong. George. Let's see. Badfoot, Phantom Outsider, Istaphobos, Tomahawk 511, Adam Gray, Karate Werewolf, The Dead Man, Jason Webster, Albatross 4920, and Rod Thunderheart. And yes, to those out there who sent super chats this evening, thank you
Rod.
so much for your support. And thank you, Rod, for the incredible super chats. By the way, I bought your book, sir.
I'm going to buy it and I'll read it. It'll take me a minute, but I'm going to read your book, and thank you so much.
All right.
Always a pleasure
Fantastic.
seeing you as well, Marla. All right, Professor. I think that we've done our bit, and
we got a super chat coming in at the death here from Jason Webster. So make sure
then we have to.
we can show that one off here. Here, I can just share it real quick.
Okay.
So you don't have to get a screenshot or anything. Where'd it go?
Are you sure you don't want me to get a screenshot, Professor?
No, you just have to share my screen. It's not
showing.
Sorry.
I apologize.
Yeah, there we go. Jason Webster, 9,300 for $5 Australian. Paramount's acquisition could still face legitimate legal stumbling blocks. You are correct. It is not said and done. Just because they have won this bidding here does not mean that they will not face various different challenges. There could be people that say, no, we don't want you to merge because it causes too much of a problem for the market. It limits competition too much. So yeah, very real chance that there could be some legal challenges, although there's going to be considerably less likely because the Ellisons are friendly with the current administration. So that is definitely going to help. But we will just have to wait and see on that. No telling exactly what might happen when it does come to the actual merger itself. So
very true.
Yep.
All right. Well, I think that we've covered everything, and this is the perfect time for us to kind of step away and say goodbye to everybody. So thank you all for hanging out with us on the Night Owl every Tuesday and Thursday at 11:45 p.m. Eastern. And today is Thursday, so we'll see you all here on Tuesday. I'm sure we'll have a lot of interesting things to talk about. So we'll see you then.
All right. Take care.
Bye.